Oh, you hit it? Oh, unlimited now. But I'll open it. For the brother. Probably at home. Probably fucked up. Don't do this to me, huh? Don't do this to me. Come in with the music. Hey, Shalom Makiam. Y'all Bashim Yashai, Bashim Rukakadash Brakatam. We want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Bashim Rukakadash. Double honors to the elder apostle, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that spreading this word, the sincerity, and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. So we back out here in the highways and byways. Shalom, y'all Bashim Yashai. Back out there in the highways and byways, preaching the word for y'all Bashim Yashai yet another week, until we can't push it no more due to certain circumstances that occur in this wicked kingdom. Okay, we just gonna keep going on. We're gonna keep going on. Shalom. Yeah, man. So the brother gonna teach.
What you want to start with? We started with something that's been going on with Book Malone, and something that Apostle went into yesterday or pretty early today, concerning that Book Malone is saying that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are not the Hebrew Israelites, but he does acknowledge that those people that are in the land right now, that they are the children of Israel, but they call themselves Jewish, meaning that they belong to the southern kingdom, which consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Where are the other tribes? He also don't acknowledge the fact that in this day and age, through the scattering of our people, that we also look like these heathen nations as well. So that's something I want to cover in, concerning my teaching. So the first thing that I want to
Let me grab a scripture, Isaiah 11 and 11. This is Isaiah 11 and 11. Let me start at 10. Isaiah 11 and 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
Yahushai.
To it shall the Gentiles seek.
The Gentiles refer to the Israelite foreigners.
And his rest shall be glorious, which refers to the kingdom. The rest that we're going to have in Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to be beautiful, man. Peaceful, beautiful, glorious. Verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Petros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea.
I'm showing you that the Most High is bringing back his people that are scattered among all these heathen nations. Elam, which the Elamites are in this day and age, the so-called Iranians, Persians, but also those people that are in Pakistan and in India, Kush, which are these Somalis, Eritreans, these Hamites. So the Most High is gathering his people from all over the earth, in this day and age as we're speaking right now. That's what we're also doing, by going into the highways and byways.
Since Isaiah 42, verse 6, I, Yahweh, have called thee in righteousness, and will hold thine hand, and will keep thee, and give thee for a covenant for the people, for a light of the Gentiles.
So we are that light unto the Gentiles by bringing those people back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So first and foremost, with Yahushai, who was able to open the seals of the scriptures, as it says, Revelation the 5th chapter. He himself spread the word, towards the disciples who later became the apostles. They put forth the work of the ministry, and eventually through reincarnation, we're standing here, in 2021, bringing back our people and telling them who they are.
Let me finish this up. Isaiah 11 and 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
So he's going to bring back the outcast of our nation, meaning we were cast out of the land of Israel, starting off with the northern kingdom, that we could read in 2 Kings chapter 17. You know how we were taken to the land of Assyria, you know, and eventually went to America. Which grab that also. Second Ezra 13, 40. So the Most High is bringing back those outcasts, because we were spewed out of the land of Israel because we didn't listen to the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And because we didn't listen to the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all the curses that are written down in Deuteronomy 28th chapter, but also Leviticus chapter 26 came upon us.
See, this is in Isaiah 49, and it's from the perspective of Israel, how the land Israel is looking at our return back to the land of Israel. This is Isaiah 49, verse 21. Then shalt thou say in thine heart, who has begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro. And who had brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These were had they done.
Read that again.
See,
That sentence didn't really sound good.
yeah, I'm looking if I should start at 19, but
Read the last verse.
This is Isaiah 49, verse 20. The children which thou shalt have after thou, verse 21, Salakia. Then shalt thou say in thine heart, who hath begotten me these, seeing I have lost my children, and am desolate, a captive, and removing to and fro. And who had brought up these? Behold, I was left alone. These, where had they been?
Yeah. These, where had they been?
Yeah, where have these Israelites been?
Yeah, these children of Israel. Because the land is being left captive. What did it say? Desolate. The land has been left desolate.
Desolate, a captive, and
a captive, yeah. Because other nations.
That's happening right now.
Yeah, man, war. You know, war is popping off constantly. Okay, you have the children of Israel removed out of the land. The land has become desolate. Because if you look at the land of Israel right now, listen, man, people might think like that we grew up in a desert like that. No, man, it wasn't like that. The land of Israel was a beautiful land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, beautiful, you know, full of fruits. Okay, but then the heathens came in according to the prophecies of Ezekiel, and then it became desolate, man. They put all kinds of abominations in it. Like the scripture says, you have to keep the laws of the land also. You don't keep the laws of the land is gonna spew you out, and it's gonna do all kinds of crazy things, man. For example, for the Cushites, they inherited the land of Samaria, and lions came up and devoured them, man, because they wasn't doing the things that they were supposed to do. Okay, according to the land. So the land has become desolate. The children of Israel are not in the land no more, and the land is mourning for us, man. So into Baruch chapter 4, I broke the scriptures. Yeah, I can grab it for you. I don't know why. What?
Leviticus 18 and 2 Kings.
Yeah, read the second.
So this is 2 Kings chapter 17, and starting at verse 20. And the Lord Jehovah rejected all the children of Israel of the sea. And the Lord Jehovah rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight. So showing that the Most High, he cast out, you know, the northern kingdom, you know, and eventually took them to the hand of spoilers, which basically means he put oppressors above us, you know, until he had cast them out of his sight, meaning until they were taken out of the land of Israel. Verse 21, for you rent Israel from the house of David and made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord Jehovah and made him sin a great sin. So, you know, as the scripture also says, you know, as the root of the people are, so are the inhabitants of the city. So because the king, he was wicked, eventually all the people were wicked as well, and they transgressed the law, statutes of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and eventually, you know, they drave the people away from serving the Most High.
Yeah, man. Because for example, King Saul, King Saul ordered all the children of Israel to burn these witches, man, to slay these warlocks and these what is the other word? Soothsayers. Soothsayers. Yeah, man, out of the land because he didn't want that wickedness to be up in the land, man. So then the people is gonna be walking righteousness too, because now they look at warlocks and these witches like, hey, they are not good, man. And believe me, I have a lot of witches of the nation of Israel, man, and especially nowadays, man. I believe nowadays more than ever, man. A lot of witches, man, because nowadays these females also be believing in the universe and stuff like that. They're constantly busy with these zodiac things. That's all witchcraft, man. That's all witchcraft. Okay, of course, the zodiac signs, which are the 12 signs, the lion, the ram, you know, Cancer and stuff like that. That goes back to the scriptures, the 12 fruits. Okay, the 12 fruits that are written in the stars. Okay, out of which you can get information, out of which you can get information on the things that are supposed to come. Because it says it's for the healing of the nations. Yeah.
This is Revelation 22, verse 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, and of the Lamb.
Yeah, so it says actually proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb, which is Yahushai. You know?
And the midst of the street, so like that, in the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruits.
Yeah, man. So this is talking about the space. Okay, this is talking about space, which, you know, I was in Egypt in the desert on a new moon. Yo, so dark. It's so pitch dark you can't see nothing, man, because there ain't no lights there for kilometers, man. I was in the midst of the desert and I looked up and you literally see a river, man. Okay, and they, you know, Esau calls that the Milky Way. The Milky Way is it's like a road, it's like a river where all these not stars, it's like a highway for space debris, like rocks and what do you think of now?
Asteroids.
Asteroids, yeah, asteroids and stuff like that. And you literally see it, man. Okay, so that's heavy. It's talking about space, which is, you know, read it again. That
It's Revelation 22 and 1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Yahweh and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and of either side of the river, was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations.
yeah, the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation. So there are things written in the stars. There are things written in the stars of which Israel would know what to do. Okay, and we don't have the knowledge of the tree of life, but that we are on the path towards the knowledge of the tree of life. So we don't know, you know, the depth of the things that were written in it. We don't know that yet, but it's gonna be known. It's gonna be known.
Because these farmers, they have the farmer almanac, which they also look up to the sky to see what is the best time to basically plant the seeds, to sow the land in order to get the best crops. Showing you, as the brother said, there's power in you know in constellations, but you know in this day and age, it's being used in wickedness instead of righteousness.
Why
That's
you
the
brought
point.
it back? You brought it back because that's what they do nowadays. They use it in wickedness, man. They use it for, you know, with witchcraft, because we don't receive that information from the Most High because we lost it. Okay, because there was one tribe that had it. This tribe of Issachar. Can you grab that in First Chronicles? You know where it is? I can grab it in. Oh, there was one tribe that did have the understanding of the stars to a certain degree. Okay, but to have the depthness of it, it wasn't given, man. Okay, but Esau, this is First Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 32. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times. Now we just read that in these stars, every month it would yield her fruit. which means this is gonna happen. This is what's gonna come to pass. Every time it will, every month it would yield their fruit. So every month information would come out. Now it says Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. How would Israel know what they have to do? By observing the stars, man. Give me that in Psalms 19, real quick.
Genesis 1. Yeah. This is Genesis 1, verse 14. And Yahweh and the power said, let there be light in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day for the night.
Yeah. From the big lights, are the sun and the moon. Those are the big lights. They divide the light from the night from the day.
And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
Yeah, let them be for signs and seasons and days and years. So from these lights that are in the skies, you can get signs. Can you hang that thing up on the hook?
Yeah.
That of the trampling it. Yeah, man. So, for example, what sign do we have from the stars and the moon and the sun? The blood moon, the solar eclipse, the moon eclipse, blood moon, new moon. You see? Yeah, blue moon is what Esau invented. Scripture don't speak about
super moon.
because Esau comes with pink moon also. Esau comes with all kinds of rubbish.
Rubbish,
We ain't about that, man. Just go according to the scriptures. Okay, but they say once every blue moon. Once every blue moon. A blue moon doesn't come often. So that's why man says once every blue moon, because it doesn't happen often.
Okay. You need to forget all the shit that Esau teach you, because now you're saying something like, yeah, that's true. It's not in the scriptures.
It's the scripture.
But then they defiled your mind already. You know, as soon as you come out the womb, they be programming you and putting shit in your mind that shouldn't be there.
That's right, man. That's right. That's why they want you to go to school as soon as possible. Okay, they have you there 8 hours. There are laws here in Holland. If your child doesn't reach the maximum hours for going to school, you get fines and all kinds of crazy shit, or the child has to do the same year again. All these grievous laws, man, which make no sense because they tell you that you should allow them to indoctrinate your child with their philosophies and bullshit. That's like Adam and Eve sending Cain and Abel to the garden, to the tree, man, which the Most I said you shall not eat. So then they ate, Adam and Eve, and then they have children, and the Most I said, I told you not to do it. Now go live over there, and then they'll be like, hey, y'all can go over there, go learn, do the same mistake again. But hey, guess what? In this wicked society, we have no choice, man. We have no choice. We have to obey to the laws of this land to a certain degree, man. Okay, and it says that in the book of Romans. You got it.
So actually, what you were saying concerning perhaps Issachar, having the
understanding
of looking to the times in the constellations. It also shows you that the Mayas are actually our people, because that word is based on Shamayan, which is the heavens. So I got
Maya. No, look, Maya means water. Shamaya means heaven. Shamayam means heavens. Now the scriptures speak about the heavens as being water. The water above the firmament, the water under the firmament, and the water in the sea. Okay, and we just read it indeed because it referred to the heavens as a river of water. Okay, where all these things happen, these asteroids go to and fro. The stars move because the constellation moves, man. Okay, the constellation, which is the stars, they move around one point, which is the northern star. Which people always think that the northern star is the most brightest star in the skies, but it's not true. The northern star is actually not that bright. And oftentimes, I don't know which brother, maybe I showed you on the bridge. On the bridge, I always grab brothers because in the military, I had to learn where the northern star is and certain, how they call it, sterrenbeelden, zodiac signs in the stars. I had to learn that to know where to go when I'm lost, if you don't have a compass and stuff like that. So I learned that. So I can show brothers like, this is the northern star. This is where the north is. You see, those are handy things to know. in certain situations, man.
Right next to the Big Dipper, right? That's what you showed me. That's the Big Dipper.
Yeah,
That's
the
right
Big
there.
Dipper, and then you have the handle. But if you go to the end of the Big Dipper, you know, the end of, if you have a pan, you have it like this, right? If you take that piece and you multiply it by 5, then you have the Northern Star. You see?
Sounds for you.
You always see it in the time lapse photos that they make.
Yeah.
You always see, but then you see one
They
center.
call it that. They call that the Big Bear. The Big Bear and the Small Bear. The Big Bear is the Big Dipper, and the Small Bear, of course, Small Dipper. Or the small pan, whatever.
Psalms 19.
Yeah.
Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Yeah, man. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High. Which the glory of the Most High is the host of heaven, man. The sun, the moon, the stars, everything that the Most High has created. Esau's technology is going that deep that they know about the planets, what these planets consist of, gas, stuff like that. So that's what they claim to know, to understand. But their knowledge doesn't reach that far. Man. They just act like it. See? They just act like they know. That's why they always use sentences like approximately. Wait. Approximately. So wait a minute. Let's dig into that word approximately. It says that is not based on facts. You don't know for sure. So I can say, I think approximately, you know, in a year I'm gonna be a million. It's like a millionaire. In 1 year, approximately, I'm gonna be a millionaire. If it doesn't happen after a year, I said approximately, right? I said approximately means not exactly. So you're full of shit. Esau. That's one thing that you gotta know. You're full of shit and you don't know shit. Okay? But still, the scripture says the children of darkness have become wiser than the children of light. So he does know more than the average Israelite, man. And I'm not saying Israelite in the truth, I'm saying Israelite in general. Even though these people don't refer to themselves as being Israelites, seeing that this guy over there already has a fucking Hamite hairdo. See? Our people are destroyed, man. Go on.
Verse 2. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
Yeah, like we just read, there's knowledge in these stars in order for Israel to know what to do, what is going to come, what prophecies are going to be fulfilled, whether there's gonna be a drought. And Esau does it also. He observed the skies, man, the weather. Okay, and there's proof in Matthew 16. Yeah, there's proof in Matthew that Jake was busy with that also back in the days, man. Because Yahushua said, "How come that you know whether it's gonna be a good day or a bad day, but you don't know the prophecies? You don't know what's going to come."
Can discern the
Yeah. Yeah, weather reporter.
Matthew.
Esau has weather reporters nowadays talking about it's gonna be sunny and shit like that. And the fucked up thing is that it's always good weather in Rotterdam, and when we drive over here, we see big clouds. We literally drive into the clouds. We drive. I showed him the temperature outside. It was 19, but when we left, it was 21. So we start driving, temperature dropping, because we go to the north, temperature dropping. And I showed them, look, it's 17. Then I showed them, look, big clouds stacked up on each other. You already know, like, when we're going to come here, it's going to be colder. But luckily, the sun breaks through every now and then, so that's good. But Esau has weather reporters, man, which Jake also had that. Read.
This is Matthew chapter 16 and verse 1. The Pharisees also, with the Sadducees, came, tempting, desired of him that he would show them a sign from heaven.
Yeah, so the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they was men without faith, man. In this instance, they lacked faith. They was like, hey, show us a miracle, man. And Yahushua was like, hey, the hell with y'all, man. This wicked generation asking for a sign and a miracle, but they ain't gonna get none, man. Okay? But the sign of Jonah, yeah.
This is verse 2. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, But can you not discern the signs of the times?
Exactly, man. So Yahushai use their mannerisms and their ways, how they observe the skies in the evening, whether it's gonna be good. Like I actually do the same thing. When I walk outside in the evening and I look at the sky, I can kind of know it's gonna be good weather the next day. Because through experience you learn that. Okay. So, but Yahushua has told them like, hey, y'all full of shit, man. Here it is. This thing, which is a difficult thing to understand, whether it's gonna be good or bad weather tomorrow, you find that easy. But to read the scriptures and understand that prophecy is coming to pass, you can't understand that? Come on, man. But that's the thing, man. The reason that the Pharisees and the Sadducees constantly wanted to stone the Lord Yahushua is because he made comments like this, man. Basically, y'all stupid, y'all dummies, man. This is basically saying, hey, y'all a bunch of dummies, man. Here it is, you know the weather, but you don't know the prophecies that are coming to pass. Come on, man. Basically like that. And then you standing in front of a bunch of jakes that are not being controlled by police like nowadays. They are being controlled by laws and by people. That if you don't don't behave yourself in a certain manner, they're gonna look at you like, huh? So wait a minute, you're supposed to rule our people, and then the whole land is gonna be in chaos. So at that time, Jake had to keep control over the people, because Jake is a very stubborn people to keep control over them. Okay, so that was basically the point, right?
Back in Psalms 19 and 3, there's no speech nor language where the voice is not heard.
Yeah, man. So these phenomenons in the skies, in the heavens, is seen and can be observed in any language, man. Because the stars don't speak any language. You see, you can read them whether you speak Portuguese, Spanish, French, Dutch, English. You can read it, man. So there is no read that again.
So there's no speech nor language where the voice is not heard.
No, it says that. But read it. Because it wasn't finished neither. The next verse also.
This is Psalms 19 and 3. There's no speech nor language where the voice is not heard.
Yeah, man, because it's not an actual voice. It's signs in the stars, directions. Okay. Read.
Verse 4, their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle.
Because from every location upon the planet Earth, you can see the stars, man. Okay, unless it's cloudy. But when the clouds clear up, you can see the stars, man. Read.
In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun. So the tabernacle is an area where Jake is going to dwell at, where the temple is going to be set up. But the tabernacle for the sun is space. Okay, so that is where this information comes from. Now, this scripture is also double, which it refers to the teachings, man. So let's break it down, concerning the teachings and the internet now. Read it again from verse 1.
This is Psalms chapter 19, verse 1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showed his handiwork.
Yeah, man.
Day unto day uttered speech, and night unto night showed knowledge.
Yeah, man. So this knowledge, this truth, is spread through the internet, which floated through the sky. Okay, the internet connections go through the sky, and day unto day uttered speech. So there is not a moment in time wherein you cannot get this knowledge. In every language, their voice is heard, because this truth is being preached in every language, man. Read.
Verse 3, there's no speech nor language where the voice is not heard.
Yeah, man, because this truth is being sent abroad throughout all kinds of languages, man. Okay, English, Dutch, French, Swedish, not Swedish, Finnish. I mean, Irish, Surinamese. Okay, how you call it? Patois. Okay, all kinds of dialects of Spanish, French. I don't know if I already said that. Okay, Philippines, Tanzanian. Okay, the Igbo language. Okay, Nigerian. And there was a guy, he did the lesson in what's it, Japanese or Chinese?
With the
Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Japanese,
was
right?
Japanese.
You see, so this truth is out there, man. This truth is out there. You can't deny it. You know.
verse 4, the line is gone out through all the earth, and the words to the end of the world. Them hath he set a tabernacle for his son.
Yeah, man. Because this truth is like a light. Okay, and this truth is going out throughout all the earth, man, through this internet. Okay, it's being spread all across the world, man. You can have it back. So real quick, concerning the stars of heaven, and I don't remember why we went into this, but it's also a spirit. So go back.
So,
Mm, because you said the way the ruler is, that's how the people are also.
yeah,
And then I spoke about King Saul, that that he did righteousness by slaughtering all these witches.
Mhm.
And I said, and nowadays there are more witches because they're all up in the zodiac stuff. And then I said, yeah, because the stars, but the zodiac comes from the scriptures. Then he put Revelation. Then we went to knowing the stars. That's how it went. And there's knowledge in the stars.
Mhm.
And I wanted to make a link concerning physical rights,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, being referred to as the Mayas, which the scriptures talk about how the Spirit bear witness in Romans chapter 8.
yeah. So that goes back into your lesson because we are the children of Israel, man. Okay, why would they call themselves Maya while they had knowledge over the stars, while they had knowledge over what is in the waters above the firmament, and then they call themselves waters? Come on, man. You already know, man. The temples that they made are in the same exact line as the temples that were made in Egypt. That the Israelites created, because in Egyptian history it says slaves built these pyramids. Which slaves, man? Of course, these Hamites had more than just Israelite slaves. But what does it say in the book of Exodus? We multiplied so fast. They had to slaughter our firstborn children, man. It was like, yo, these children of Israel, they multiplying so fast, man. Yeah, man.
This is Exodus chapter 1 and verse 8. Now there rose up a king over Egypt.
Start at what you gonna read?
The account where
First, chapter 1?
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 1, and then jump to chapter 2, verse 1.
This is Exodus chapter 1, verse 8. Now there arose up a king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Yeah, man, because the history of Joseph was being repeatedly taught amongst these Hamites, amongst these Martazariamites, okay, which is the name of Egypt, Martazarium, okay, that was being it was being known like this one Israelite that came into Egypt and became a great man, because Joseph was like Pharaoh himself, man. Okay, and when you go into the archaeology, of Esau, they claim that this one Pharaoh was actually Joseph. Okay, because he was like a king himself. Okay, just like how the scriptures speak that we are going to be kings over regions. You have regional kings. Esau had regional kings. If you read about Felix, Festus, Herod, those were regional kings, man. Regional Caesars or governors, you can call them. Okay, so that was the same thing in the time of Egypt, because Joseph was like a president over the land, man. He had rule. Why? He made sure that the people didn't starve by breaking down the dreams of the Pharaoh. Okay, so but at this time that was forgotten. Shows you that if things don't keep being repeated over time, it's gonna be lost, man. It's gonna be lost.
Verse 9, and he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
Yeah, man. So they already saw how he was dragging these bricks, because the bricks of the pyramids, they ain't small, man.
Oh man.
But Jake was just pushing them to
Yeah, man.
hey, five Jakes lift up the stone, put it in place. The Jake puts it. He says it's not tight enough. They drag it back. They cut it. They sand it. Then they push it back. Okay, it's good now. You know, Jake is a builder, man.
Master builder.
Jake is a master builder, and so these Hamites be standing with their whips in their hand, like,
Okay.
yo, see what they can do with these bricks. What do you think they can do with us, man? You have to understand why these Hamites was getting afraid of us. We was getting more in number, meaning more of these buff ass Jakes. They can destroy us any moment. If we allow this to continue, they're gonna take over our kingdom. Which that is what we did with the Roman Empire. That's actually what we did with the Roman Empire. They allowed us to be in military. Then in the military, we became generals, just like how in America now, most of these generals are Jakes, man. Bald ass Jakes, which the baldness shows you that they are submissive unto Esau, man. But in the Roman Empire, we was also growing and setting up. Hey, shalom, we were setting up military coups, you know, to take over the Roman Empire, man. So the Egyptians were scared of that, man. Because up till this day, Esau be thinking like, how the hell they built these pyramids, man?
Yeah, man.
How the fuck they got these bricks all to the top?
They are dismayed.
Still don't know. And they say that the pyramid was built in such a way that it actually started up with top or something and then built all the way down. But that technology is lost, man.
Yeah. Jake finds a way for anything, man.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, even
Then they put sand.
Yeah.
And they start with that. And then
that's what they did. They put sand. They put sand, and then they built from there.
and then they-
That's
they
only logic.
move all the sand away.
Yeah.
But even you know, in my line of work, which is I started off as an electrical technician. When you go to school, they say use the tools for what they have to be used for. Don't use them for other things. But me, if I am outside and my fan is a couple meters back, and I'm there, and I can fix it with the things that I have there, but it's not the right tools. But I know I can fix it with this. I'm not gonna walk all the way back to my van to grab the right tools. I'm just gonna do it with this. Same thing, right? But they say no, you can't do it. But Jake is handy like that. They always figure out a different way to fix it, man. You see, Jake rolls like that. So Jake, how they build the pyramids? Hey, the same pyramids that are in Honduras, in Mexico. It's not the same structure. It's a different type of structure, but it's in line with the stars again. See?
Pointy, but more cubical.
Yeah.
It's about that with Joseph and the Pharaoh. This is Genesis 41, verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck.
And that ring, in Egypt, you had rings that represented your status. Okay, these Hamites had that. Like a pharaoh would give his ring to his son. Now he's over all the architecture of Egypt, or he would be over all the food supplies of Egypt with certain rings. And they even show you that in that cartoon, The Prince of Egypt, because there Ramses gave the ring to Moses. No, Slakia. Yeah, eventually he did. Slakia, eventually he did. He wanted to give it. His father gave it to his son Ramses, gave him the ring, so that he is already in a leadership position over all the architecture. And then when Moses came back to Ramses, he was happy. He said, hey, brother. And then he said, hey, you have my ring. I will undo all the evil that you did, because he murdered the Egyptian, right? And this is not in the scriptures, just so you know, but this is how they set up the movie. And how did they set up the movie? With things that they know from the Egyptian archaeology that they did. You know, they find all these rings. And also the stamp that is being given, but it's given with the ring, means that the king has authorized the building, or and Esau took that because when the Greek Empire came, they invaded Egypt, and they took a lot of things from these Hamites, which these Hamites took it from us. Okay, That's why this clip that the brother Yamala was showing at his house with the blue pill or red pill and this other dude, and that he said he doesn't get what he's talking about. And I said, I know what he's referring to. He's referring to that Esau stole all this information and all these things. He stole it from the Hamites. You see? So when Esau came, he also copied that thing that they grab a ring, and the ring is the seal to stamp on the wax.
Yeah, on the wax.
On the letters with the wax, and then it shows you that, oh, this letter is closed and sealed by the king or by the Caesar or the governor, whatever. Yeah, man. Go on.
Back in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 10, come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there fought out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us.
Yeah, man. So they was like, yo, we gotta beware of them, man, because hey, they are becoming a lot now. So the fear of Israel kicked in. And that's all because the spirit of the Heavenly Father was already working, man. Read on.
And so get them up out of the land. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. They built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses.
See, we had to build these pyramids, these structures, cities. We had to build whole cities, man. Now, guess what? We had to build a whole city for Esau, Edom also. That's why this America is called spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Because the same things that were happening in Egypt are happened in America, man. We had to build whole cities, man. That's why the give me Deuteronomy, thou shalt build houses and shall not live in them. That's why that curse had to come upon us, man. It all lines up. And it's a funny thing. I was just in the car with the brother, and I'm playing some music, and the song started playing. I pressed pause. I said, I can already say by how the beat is coming in that this song is dope. So it's like, yeah, and then I showed him the picture of the album, and it said Hood Gospel too. Hood Gospel.
Good gospel.
So I was like, by first sight with the Kalashnikov on the front and stuff like that, and the Jake with his eyes blinded. You know it?
I saw the how you call it?
Yeah, the
the
picture.
The picture.
Yeah. So we was kind of skeptical about it, like this is some garbage probably, some violence with guns and stuff like that. But then I told them I wanted to say like, but he's probably talking about what he's going through and why this is the gospel of the hood, like what you go through in the hood. I started playing basically all the curses. He was bringing them out, man. Violence from Jake to Jake, not feeling at ease in the land of your captivity, fearing death constantly. Hey, not growing up with your father. Yo, he was going through all of Deuteronomy chapter 28. You got it? He was going through the whole chapters of Deuteronomy 28, basically. So if you want to understand who the children of Israel are, you might as well just listen to that song, man, and then grab Deuteronomy 28. Because you're going to see, man. You're going to see, man. Read.
This is Deuteronomy 28, verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
Yeah, man. So thou shalt build a house and shall not dwell therein. That happened. We planted vineyards, and we will not eat the fruit of it. Do you think we was allowed to drink wine of grape? Nah, man. Fuck out of here. We got scraps, man. We got scraps. We got scraps. We got things like pork tail, pork tongue, okay, a cow tongue. But we made dishes out of it, man. In the Caribbean islands, they gather all these things over the year, put them in banana leaves, put them under the ground. Leave those things in banana leaves under the ground, and then during Christmas they pull it out, and then they make yambo from it, which is some kind of stew, very slimy with all kinds of shit in it, nuts, meats, all kinds of meats. You be like, I wonder what this is, and then you just eat it. All kinds of shit, man. Huh?
Nice.
Huh? Ice. anything.
Like gumbo.
And then, but then they call that soul food. Why? It still tastes good, man, even though it's made out of scratch, man. Okay? And that's how Jake is, man. Jake can just go in his cabinet, be like, man. If Esau would look in the cabinet, be like, you ain't got shit in the house, man. What you mean ain't got shit? I got some eggs. I got a little bit of rice here. I got 2 potatoes. I can cut them up, mix them with the rice, with some eggs on the side, man. I got here a little bit of hot sauce. I can mix it with the mayonnaise, make some sauce out of it, add some water to it, put them on the pot. Now you have rice with potatoes and sauce. That's already good.
Yeah.
With the egg on the side. Hey, I have some tuna here. 1 can of tuna, cha cha chow.
Yeah,
You're
man.
done, man. And Esau be like, how these Negroes made this? He cannot understand it, man. And then he came to the slaves and be like, he smelled the food. Be like, oh, what is this? You eat it? How the hell these slaves make this food? It's delicious. And then they pull out these jakes out of the field, come cook food in the house.
In the house.
And then you have these fat Jake house Negroes. They would make the food, man.
Yeah,
For the slave master. Yeah, Uncle Tom.
No, I was looking at social media, and then you have this man, right? This guy, the so-called black man. And he's starting to date white woman, Esau, Shedemite. So then he goes to certain tasks, like, hey, when this happened, what is your reaction? Like, oh, oh snap, teaching her the ways of Jake. But then he's asking her, like, so now my mother, she invites you to a turkey dinner, right? And she asks you to help in the kitchen. So then you have the turkey, you have the salad, you have the, I don't know, potato salad, something like that. So what are you gonna season? He's like, can I ask for help? It's like a quiz, a safe, how do you call it, the rescue line, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah.
So then, can I call my mother? Okay, she calls her mother. Oh, so when you're gonna season it, first thing you need to do is take the turkey. He's like, no, just leave it. Because what do? We season all of it. We season the chicken, we season the salad. But if it's Esau Edom, he just puts a little bit of salt and pepper, and then it's done.
And it's done.
But like the brother was saying, we season everything. Yo, potatoes, we season salad, we season everything.
This brother asked me how much of cinnamon and stuff like that I put in my skin oils. I said, yo, don't ask me those kind of questions, man. Jake don't measure nothing, man. He asked me how much of the cinnamon and how much of the frankincense I put in it. I say, yo, don't ask me those things, man. Jake don't measure nothing, man. Yo, if you ask a recipe from your grandmother, a lick of salt,
Little salt.
a handful,
Not too much.
a handful of sugar,
Yeah.
a handful of sugar. Put it in, taste it.
Taste
If it tastes salty enough,
You add a little bit more.
no. If it tastes salty enough, you leave it. But if you need more salt, put the liquor salt. What is the liquor salt? What is that? Is it a teaspoon? Is it a? You just gotta figure it out, man. Make it and taste it. That's right, man. If Jake cooks for you and he sits down and he says, how does it taste? I wonder how it tastes because I didn't taste it. You already have to look at him like, yo, what you mean? You didn't taste it. You always have to taste the food while you make it.
Yeah, man.
Okay? And my grandmother said, don't put the spoon to the mouth, boy. Put it in your hand.
In your
But
hand like
always when I
this.
put it in my hand,
Yeah, man. It burns,
fucking
you know.
hot, man. You put it and then you lick it fast. You be like, shit. It's fucking
But
hot.
he's always been.
Yeah, and then
And
put
put
the
his
spoon back.
spoon back, you know.
Fucking put the spoon back, man. Come on now, man. It's saliva. It's saliva is part of the ingredient now. Come on now. See? So Jake don't measure his things, man. Jake just look at this, look at that. Okay?
What about the salt, the chicken, salt fish? I think Jake came up with that. Keep the meat longer, right?
Preserve it.
I could imagine that we came up with that because Esau, he would eat something that is, how do you call it, something that is already.
Back in the days, you had the ships. Esau came with the ships, and in the ships, they would salt all the food that they would get from all these countries. They would salt it, to preserve it longer.
Mhm.
And then, but you know, Esau, he gets fucking high blood pressure from that shit, man. He fucking died from that salt, man. So they probably didn't want it no more. And then you know how Jake be like, well, give it to me then.
Mhm.
And now we eat salt meat and salt fish
Uh-huh.
because Jake likes salt, man. The
Yeah,
Most
man.
High likes salt. He said, the Most High said, don't suffer the salt.
Yeah,
You in Exodus, so you can read that too. Oh, it's not in Exodus. It's in Leviticus or Deuteronomy. Yeah, but read on in Exodus. On this Exodus.
Okay. So that's Deuteronomy 28 and 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Oh, you already,
I already said it.
but I didn't read it though.
Oh, yeah,
You just through the spirit, you
cut
knew it
to
was
the
gonna.
chase. Okay, read on.
Exodus chapter 1 and verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel.
And when they were grieved of the children of Israel. So go to chapter 2 and start at 1. And then let me read this real quick. Leviticus chapter 2, verse 13. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. And not like how Esau puts it on his website, 1 teaspoon, or like they grab a little bit of salt and be like, you look at the meat, you be like, what is this? You know, we season the meat until the color of the meat changes, man.
Yeah, man.
You see, the color of the meat is different now.
But
That's how we season it.
Often has it on the table also, so he cooks it like with a little bit of salt, and then when you get it, then you be like,
Yeah, man.
but then it's on the surface, then it's not in the dish, it's not in the meat.
Marinade. Yo, man, we had when I was in school, we had a barbecue, school barbecue, but there was more Jakes in the class than Esau or heathens. So then the teacher, he said, let's just order this barbecue packet. Yo, Jake was like, hell no, man. We ain't gonna order that shit.
Yeah,
Hell no, fuck no. So then this Turkish dude came and he said, listen, one of my family members, he has this barbecue party stuff also. And he said, don't worry about it. The meat is seasoned. And he was like, okay, cool, get that. You know, because when Esau, when you take this stuff from Esau now, man, that shit boring as hell,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah,
I have that scripture. What you want from those suffer salt?
I have that here.
Oh, yeah.
So Leviticus chapter 2, verse 13, and every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of the Most High to be lacking from thy meat offering. So the Most High is like, yo, boy, you better put that salt on it, man. You better put that salt on it, man. You see? So where do you think Jake got that spirit from? To like salt upon their food, to like seasoned meat, to like seasoned food. The Most High is like that. Okay, and we are his children.
Yeah.
So if Esau is the sons of the Most High, why are they like that? That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up. Let me read on. With all thine offerings, thou shalt shalt offer salt. And if thou offer a meat, and you have to think about it, Israel was against the Mediterranean Sea. And you also had the Dead Sea over there, which is full of salt. Yo, that salt had to be, you only need, and you're done, man.
Yeah, man.
Because sometimes when you use Himalayan salt for a long time, and then you go back on the sea salt, if you put the same amount of salt, of the sea salt as you put from the Himalayan salt, you're done, man.
Yeah.
You can throw away your food because
Yeah,
you just fucked it up, man. Because sea salt is stronger than the Himalayan salt. Okay, because the Himalayan salt is with the things from the mountain, water from the mountain, it gets filtered more. Then the sea salt is just rough, man. And sea salt comes in blocks. It has to be grinded up, mushed up. That's why you also have salt lamps. Salt lamps is just rock, and they cut it out, and then they put a light bulb in it. Or back in the days, we put a candle in it, and then the heat from the candle brings out the nutrients of the salt into the room, which is very beneficial. You know, so I advise brothers to buy a Himalayan salt lamp or sea salt lamp. It's good for you, man. But watch out when you have animals because it's a bit poisonous for not poisonous. It can harm dogs. Okay, no, they're not gonna lick it or something, but something with it. I looked it up and it said it's not good for dogs. So I just put it in my children's room. Okay, and then let them have it. Because always the light. Hey, turn on the light, daddy. We're like, man, you soft, man. Click, put on the salt lamp, which is beneficial for you. So good. Yeah.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children. Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
So it's the spirit, man. You read the scriptures, you will find out, man. So when you listen to a song like that, you be like, what? This is Deuteronomy 28 from beginning to end, man. Fuck. This is crazy, man.
Back it up. Yeah. This is John chapter 6, verse 63. It is the Spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
They are spirit and they are life, man. Yeah, man. So go back to the. Shall I finish this? Yeah, let me finish this. Let me finish this. Yes. Yes. Verse 14. Leviticus 2 and 14. And if thou offer a meat offering of thy first fruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy first fruit green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. So what does Jake like to eat with his food? Some corn. You gotta have some corn on the side, you know what I'm saying? Put some salt on it, some black pepper on it, and then put the butter on the top to make it nice, juicy. So where does that come from? But it's gonna say it. Even corn beaten out of full ears, and thou shalt put oil on top of it, and lay frankincense thereon. Hey, you have to try that out, man. Put some frankincense. No, don't try that. Because it's just for the smell. The most I like to smell. Yeah, I like the smell of it. And it's not for the taste of the. So don't do that. Don't put frankincense on your food. I advise you not to do that. It is a meat offering, and the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord, because frankincense is the favorite smell of the Most High. Okay. Leviticus 2 and 4. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baken in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in a pan, it shall be of fine flour, unleavened, mingled with oil. Now, how does Jake like to eat his meat? Jake likes to eat his meat in
Better.
no better. Pull through the flour, man. Jake likes it like that because it says it's gonna be in a frying pan. Verse 6: Thou shalt part it in pieces and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering, and if the oblation be a meat offering baken in a frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. Jake likes to have his meat fried, man. Fried in the frying pan with the salt thereof, with the cakes fried in the frying pan. Okay, you have the Johnny cake from the Caribbean islands, or the patty, from the Northern Wind Islands. They call it patty, and I think in Jamaica they call it patty too. Okay, in Suriname they pastay.
They call it big. Yamala made it last time. It's like, yeah, you want big? It was Johnny Cake. But
it's Johnny Cake.
They call it in Nigeria. That's the eastern part where it comes from. Guyana, actually. Because
Elon lives there.
But in Guyana, you also have our people. Yeah, so it flew over from there to the Nigeria, and then in Suriname they eat it also.
Yeah,
big.
Yeah, man.
So it's just fried flour, man. Fried flour, and you have like a cake, and you have then the meat with the potatoes, with the sweet potato or the potato salad, with the corn, with the oil on it, or the butter on it, with the fried meat, or from the oven, food from the oven because certain brothers say that's better.
Because I want to chill. You put that thing, let
In
it
the
rest,
oven,
and
yeah.
then you can.
But Jake likes to drink a beer in the sun, with the barbecue,
barbecue on.
Shot, shot, shot. You smell the coals.
Yeah, man. I like that, man.
We chilling.
Yeah, man.
But he said Surinamese people like oven better.
I'm a Suriname.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what the thing is? When they have big festivities, when you have a whole lot of people, you're not gonna have like 30 barbecues. No, you're gonna put it in the oven.
Yeah, they stack it up in.
I know.
Then you go further.
Suriname-
You're right, Doc.
But that doesn't mean they like it more.
No,
It's just more convenient.
yeah.
But
Come on.
Jake from Curacao, they will put 50 barbecues on the thing, man.
FD chicken barbecue. Remember that?
Yeah,
They
man.
were constantly flipping. Okay, who wants this? Okay,
Yo, man. In Aruba, you have Main Street, and in Main Street, if you walk there, you smell the barbecue from Baby Batch. Baby Batch is a barbecue grill place from down the street. You be walking Main Street, you want to shop something, but your belly be like, because you smell the barbecue, man. And he just has like 3 big grills, one for the pork, one for the halal ribs, and then one for the halal chicken. And he just closes it. Yo, shalom, man. He closes it, everything's fried, and then when he opens it, all the smoke goes into the street, and then you just be like, "Hey, we done shopping. We're gonna eat some food." Man. And how do you get your food? With some corn, with some a pasta salad, and that's how it's being served. Man. That's Jake, man.
Yeah,
Spirit itself bear witness. We are the children of the Most High. You see, I bet brothers can relate to this, man. You know what I'm saying? Festival too, yeah, man. Festival, Jake barbecues in park and shit. That's how it goes, man. Okay, go back to Leviticus, Exodus. Yeah, Exodus.
This is Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months.
There we go.
And when she could no longer hide him, she took him for an ark of bulrushes and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put a child therein. She laid it in the flags by the river's brink. And his sister stood afar off, to wit,
I was lucky. You had to read chapter 1. Chapter 1 from verse.
I read 8 till 12.
Start at 11.
Gone.
Oh, you read till 12? Okay, then just read on, man.
Gone. So back in Exodus
I
chapter
thought
1.
it was in chapter 2.
Back in Exodus chapter 1, verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor.
Yeah, man. Rigor is hardcore bondage, man. With look it up. Look up the word. It goes into hardcore bondage, but I wanna bring out the words that it says exactly there.
Verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage,
Yeah,
in
man.
mortar and in brick.
In mortar and in brick. Brick for what? To build these freaking cities of the Pharaoh, man. Statues, how you call that? Bathing places, oasis. Bathhouses, yeah.
In mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they were made to serve was with rigor.
Yes, all the service that they had to serve in was with rigor, man. It wasn't cool, cat, and calm. It wasn't cool, calm, and collective. It wasn't like how we make Esau to serve us, man. These Edomites were serving us later in the land of Israel, even though things happened unto us in slavery. We didn't come back with spiteful words. We didn't come back with how you say that animosity and treacherous wound type of things, man. Like, I'm gonna get y'all back. We wasn't like that, man. You're just a servant. That's it. Okay, and there are rules, towards that you gotta have towards your servant, man.
Still can be seen to this day.
That's right.
being beaten, afflicted, by these.
But Jake is a peaceful people. Yeah. Jake is a peaceful people. So even when we had these Edomites as servants, Hamites as servants, he was just cool with it, man. When the children of Israel went into the land of Israel, into the land of Canaan, it was called back then, they didn't even want to kill all of them, man. It was like, just be safe. Keep all alive. Yo, you trying to hide heathens from the Most High? Like the Most High commanded you kill all of them. Be safe, okay? Be safe, right? Most High be like, since y'all don't want to kill them, I'm gonna let their ways come upon you, man. You're gonna act according to them. Yeah, it's gonna be a snare unto you. Read on. The point is verse 14, I think. 16. Read on. Oh, you have precept?
This is Deuteronomy 4 and 20. But Yahweh had taken you and brought you forth out of the iron furnace, even out of Egypt, to be unto him a people of inheritance, and ye, as ye are this day. So the reason why I pulled this is because of the iron furnace, because the iron furnace that represents the rigorous, the heavy burdens that we had to carry, back then in the time of Egypt, even now to this day. But that was just, as Apostle Abraham said, it was in the pure, it was rigorous, that slavery. That's why when we have the Passover, we eat it with bitter herb and with the horseradish, too, and that represents the
horseradish. When you eat the horseradish, you're gonna cry, man. You start crying. Okay, which is a representation of the hard bondage that we were in. You have the word?
Rigor. Rigor. In Old French, rigor, strength, hardness. From Latin, rigor, rigorum. Numbness, stiffness, hardness, firmness, roughness, rudeness. Yeah, that was it, man.
Hardness. In a hardness.
The wind is.
It wasn't that hard, but I saw it go like this. So I was like, hey. Yeah, I think it's your garment.
Let me stand over here, man.
Like an Exodus.
Yeah, that's why I always put it like this. That's why I always put it like this. Yeah.
Like in Exodus chapter 1 and verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, which the name of one was Shiphrah, and the name of the other Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him, but if it be a daughter, then she shall live.
Yeah, man. So this shows you, this is another point of view. I mean, Numbers 1 and 18, that it shows you that the race is set up by the men. Because the Pharaoh told the midwives, kill the son, but let the daughter be alive. So what these Amalekites teach and say nowadays is that the lineage goes through the mother. That's nonsense. You're not what your mother is. If that is the case, then Jacob kept multiplying because they kept the daughters alive. But the sons they killed. Why? The son multiplied creates the nation. That's why the sons are being numbered. The sons from 12 years and upward, and the men thou shalt number, but the women and the daughters thou shalt not number, because they don't create a nation. Okay, if you have one man on an island with 200 women, that island is one man strong. And the way you say it, this is one man strong. You already pronounce it that way. This man is the nation. The nation is one man strong. Okay, because he brings forth the nation, and if he starts multiplying there, everyone is of his nation, all the children, even though those females are of different nations.
This is Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. They declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old upward by their posts.
What sign? It's not there? I'll take it next week. Guys, I thought I only had the old signs in that bed. I didn't know I had the missing sign. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I thought I gave him all the signs, and I had the old signs. I thought you had them. Yeah, I will check this week then. Yeah, read it.
This is Numbers chapter 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day, second month. They declared their pedigrees after the families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their poll.
From 20 years old and upward. Okay, you will be added in the number of the children of Israel. Okay.
That scripture also to back that up.
So the pedigree represents race. Your race is being decided. Race, which pedigree goes into nationality, tribe, family line. You see? So it's not because you would be like, why does it speak about race here? If if um, if it is only referring to the children of Israel, because there's different races among the Israelites. Okay, that's why according to the book of Genesis, it was being said that Abraham would become a multitude of nations. Okay, Abraham would become a multitude of nations because out of Jacob a multitude of nations came. Okay, all the tribes upon the earth right now, are amongst all these nations and became nations themselves. Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, okay, Panamanians, Brazilians, Venezuelans, Caribbean islands, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Saint Martin, Saint Saba, uh, uh, Barbados, Trinidad, Tobago. You have all these islands, man. What is it? Mauritius. You have an island that's called Saint Bartholomew. Bartholomew. Okay, that's the island which, of course, Esau claimed it. But it's very beautiful, man. I would like to go there one day, man. But yeah, I don't really think those things is gonna happen because this place is finished, man.
Yeah, man.
Place is finished. Talking about the passport and all that crap. I'm gonna just stay over here then. Go to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
In
Yeah,
Holland.
man, in Holland.
At least
Yeah, man.
Holland has a beach, man. Because when the brothers from Germany came here, he said he never seen the beach before.
Huh?
I said, what? Yo,
Yeah, man.
if you say that to an island person, you never seen the beach before, he's gonna look at you like, what, you crazy, man? Yeah, he said he never seen the beach before, man.
Yeah.
That's why all the people from Germany, they always migrate here.
Yeah.
When it's a little bit hotter, you always see German people here at the beach.
They go to the naked beach.
Yeah, man.
Because over there it's just hot and you don't have, it's not near the feet, just somewhere in the middle.
So
Mhm.
these Germans nasty, man. Even in the porn industry, they said, German porn. Let's make German. I don't know what it resembles, but it's some freaky shit probably. Some German stuff.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. And again, the anger of the Lord Jehovah was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, go number Israel and Judah. Jump verse 9. And Joab gave up the sum of the number of the people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000 men. So the reason that I put the scriptures because this shows you, with scripture evidence, like, hey, the nation of Israel and any other nation is just as strong as valiant men, those that are able to pull up the sword and defend their nation. That's why they Pharaoh, he wanted to kill all the men children.
That's right. Because that would wipe out the nation.
Uh, one of the all-time
Go back to what you was teaching.
so
If you can bring it back, otherwise I just can.
because then we'll go back to 2 Kings chapter 17. So what I wanted to start off with in this teaching is prove that the so-called Negro Latinos, Native Americans, but also those who were scattered among the heathen nations that might look like heathen nations, but the thing is, does go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, according to their father's seed line. Those are the children of Israel, which you can receive it, of course. So where we left off concerning that is in 2 Kings chapter 17, where the Most High Hawa, he rejected, the northern kingdom, the kingdom of Israel, and basically cast them out of the land of Israel, for their wicked doings. Um, yeah, of course, yeah. So we went to verse 21, and yeah, started 21 again, but sure.
So this is 2 Kings 17, verse 21. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh and made them sin a great sin.
And as I explained earlier, as the ruler of the people is, so are the people of the city, because the king
As the ruler.
is the ruler. What did I say?
Root. It looks like you say
Oh,
root.
no, I meant ruler.
But I can pull that scripture because you're mentioning it. Let me just pull it up.
So, because the king was wicked, he allowed all the wickedness to be done among our people, which eventually caused our people to be cast out of the land. And in this instance, speaking about the northern kingdom.
This is Sirach chapter 10. Let me start at 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of a people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of a city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Exactly, because if the king would have been righteous, he would have judged the people according to their wickedness. But if he is not a righteous man, but a wicked one, he allows the wickedness to be done, which eventually, if you choose to transgress the laws, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, going to be consequences for this. Which can be read in Deuteronomy chapter 28, Leviticus chapter 26. So eventually, as we can read in 2 Kings chapter 17, the northern kingdom was cast out of the land. Gone.
This is 2 Kings 17.
Before you read this, let me read this real quick. Matthew chapter 7, verse 20. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them, which is the same principle. If you have the head of a church or a congregation, the congregation is going to act the same way as the head. Okay, that's why it says also here the more the more you receive, the more that you have to. What the hell? I actually got a little bit shook, and then I saw it was a Chihuahua. I have a big ass dog at home, but I didn't see him.
He drove
So
over.
I was like, "Hey, what is this?" Fucking Chihuahua, man. Basically, the more greater thou art, yeah, the greater thou art, yeah, the more humble thou be. Where is that again? It's a rock, right? The greater thou art, the more humble thou be, because the people are gonna follow the greatness, and humbleness comes. Humility comes from honor. You see, so humility comes through being humble. Okay.
This is Proverbs 18 and 19. Better it is to be an humble spirit with the lowly, than to divide the spoil with the proud. Let me read above. This is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be an humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud.
Yeah, man, it's better to be a humble spirit with the lowly. Even though you have received a great position, hey, be amongst the people, man. That's what a great king, a great ruler would do. Even King David, when they got the Ark of the Covenant back, what was he doing, man? He was dancing among the people.
Yeah,
He was celebrating. Wow, wow. You know how? No, he was. His rod came out of his from under his garment. So, but you know how Jake is when there's celebration to be made. Jake is like,
Jake is going.
oh. So King David was also among them, like, yeah. No, I'm saying? Dancing. You know, the timbrels, tap, 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 tap. People with the music, boom, boom. And then guess who was looking from the window? with despising eyes. Women around him. See this man? Rod coming out of his pants. This supposed to be the king, the daughter of King Solomon, that was married unto King David. So when he came back, he was like, she was like, let's just read it as a matter of fact, because it's a good point to bring out to show you. Don't let me cuss, man, but to show you females that this ain't no joke, man. This ain't no joke. Okay, if you have a man that is teaching this word for your Habashim Yashai, you better wash your mouth, man. You better wash your fucking mouth, man. Okay?
Second Samuel.
Because the judgment that is going to come is going to be your punishment, man. And your shame, the shame that is going to cover you in the kingdom, is going to be your punishment too. Now I was meditating about something this brother told me, like his exes and the females that left him, or that are not with you no more. Are you going to take them in the kingdom, or are you going to leave them to someone else?
I'm going to take them.
He told me that too, and I was like, no, fuck them, man. Well, fuck them, man. Let them. I was like, show them that they could have had a man of the elect, but now they're with someone else. But then a couple of days ago, I was meditating upon that, and I was like, but it's not gonna bother them because they're gonna be righteous in the kingdom, so they ain't gonna get jealous. They're not gonna be with the man and then look at the king. With him. Look at me now with this man. No. They're gonna be righteous, so they're gonna be cool with it.
Yes.
So it has no effect. You wanna be like, yeah, bitch, see, you're not with me. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna wear their own apparel,
but they're gonna be with a man still. So it's not gonna be like a punishment. Like the punishment has to come on this side. The Most High is gonna take care of it. That's why the scriptures say, give me that. The second Esdras, be not worried how the second Esdras.
And I got also Sirach, what you said, thou greater.
Thou greater. Yeah. The greater the art.
The greater art.
Yeah.
This is Sirach, chapter 3, verse 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord.
Yeah, man, you're gonna find favor before the Lord. That's why King Solomon, what did he ask of the Heavenly Father? Great mind on how to judge his people. This so great a people. The Most High was like, bro, I'm very pleased with this man, because he didn't ask for great might. He didn't ask for the strength of 1,000 warriors. You can do one wish. I wish to have the strength of 1,000 men. Dummy. Why you ask such a carnal thing? King Solomon was like, I want to have the mind that I can rule these people in a just and righteous way. So I was like, wow, the principle was beautiful. Beautiful. It's beautiful. So the Most High gave him that, and he's like, as a matter of fact, wait, when you get a gift, but he's, the man that gives you this gift, he's pleased with you. Man, you have this. Okay, wait. I have some more thing. Grabs it like this. Take this off. You be like, hey, no, you know what I'm saying?
What do you wish?
Yeah, and then he loads you with gifts because he's pleased with you. That's what the Most High did with King Solomon. He gave him riches, he gave him power, he gave him strength, he gave him might, he gave him wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and first and foremost, the wisdom to judge his people, man, because that's what he asked for. Seeing you ask for this, you got all the other things also. Read.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 verse 16. Then I said, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
And these are the words from King Solomon himself. This is what King Solomon himself said. Wisdom is better than strength. A wise man, he will know how to avoid certain situations that he doesn't even need to use strength.
I can read the account about it where he's referring to.
Read your precept.
Because that's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and starting up verse 7. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon the Most High, and the spirit of wisdom came upon me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stone, because all gold in respect of her is as little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her.
See that? So here King Solomon is explaining how precious and beautiful this truth is in his eyes, man. He said he didn't desire thrones nor scepters. He didn't desire all these riches above this truth. He desired this truth above all.
It goes on. I loved her above health and beauty,
I loved her above health and beauty.
and chose to have her instead of light, for the light that cometh from her never goeth out.
Yeah, man. That's why in the book of Revelation it speaks about that there's not gonna be the light of the sun, neither the light of the moon, because Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna be a light unto us. That represents the wisdom, knowledge, understanding. It's gonna come straight from Yahweh Shem Shai. There ain't gonna be no schools, none of that, man. Because the scripture says, "No man shall teach his neighbor." This is not gonna happen. From the womb, these children is gonna know what is what. They don't have to be taught, man. It's just in them.
Goes on.
You imagine how great that is, man. Your children have wisdom, knowledge, understanding from the womb. So what does that mean? You know, is the child gonna crawl first in order to know how to walk? Fuck no, man. These children that are gonna be born in the kingdom are gonna be on another level, man. You know, just like in Dragon Ball Super, you see a Pan. Pan is the daughter of Gohan. Yeah, Pan is the daughter of Gohan and Fidel. Oh, you don't know.
I don't know.
Fidel. And she could fly before she could walk, man. She was a baby, you know, like this on the couch and stuff like that. But then they didn't look for a moment. The window was
I
open.
remember
She
that.
flew out.
Yeah.
That's the one episode you see that she just escaped. And they was all panicking, like, where did she go? She was freaking flying, man.
Mhm.
Okay? And I was like, yeah, that's beautiful. Because in the kingdom, it's going to be like this, man. You see babies flying in the air, floating. You know,
Yeah, man.
you don't need no, you don't need no baby crib. You just let your baby float in the air. Walk, grab some food, come back. You know, grab the baby out of the air, give him some milk.
Yeah, man.
Hey, kingdom is gonna be beautiful, man. Kingdom is gonna be beautiful. Read on. Yeah, read.
Verse 11. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goes before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them.
Yeah, man. So you receive the wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and receives all the other things, because wisdom is the mother of all those great things. Through wisdom, you get a lot of things, man. Okay, a wise man, a wise man that is not strong, but he has a lot of knowledge. You don't have to be strong. You just be like, "Tick, tick, tick." Touch your vital points. You done, man. And he didn't even do that with strength. Same thing goes for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yes, I bring the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu again into the game because why? If you know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the ins and outs, you stop using strength. You come in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a white belt, you be like, "Arr, I'm gonna take him down, give. But really, later on, when you are going to do competition, the referees, which are Brazilian black belts, brown belts, often also, if you submit the guy with a guillotine, they look at you as disrespect. No disrespect towards Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because you have all these beautiful techniques. Nobody does a guillotine. Guillotine is like you know, the strength of your pure strength.
Yeah.
You don't do that with Jiu-Jitsu because you use the gentle art. Jiu-Jitsu is called the gentle art.
Mhm.
So, but the gentle art is being created after so many years because you learned, you became wise in the art. Okay? And then you don't need to strength no more. You can just flip someone over without using strength. That's the beauty. That's the beauty.
Go with points. If you do a guillotine, then it's one, and then if you use
Guillotine is finished. If he taps, it's finished. But it goes with points. You stand, take down. Takedown is 2 points. After the takedown, you have to pass his guard. Pass the guard is 2 points. Knee on belly is 3 points. Go on the mount, you know, where you have see UFC fighters. They smash you. Boom, boom, boom. That's the mount. If you have his back, you know, your legs around his waist, and then you can choke him like this. 4 points. And if you have a certain technique, then you go 15 points, 15-0, man. Can go very quick. So yeah, man. That wisdom is better than strength, man. A wise man, he don't need to have a lot of power. That's why you also see when you see these senseis, with the long beard, with
Mhm.
the mustache like this, they're not buff ass dudes, but they beat the shit out of you,
Yeah,
man.
man. Yeah,
They beat the shit out of you.
it's
They
true.
just go like, hey, even though I don't really believe in that kung fu stuff, I believe in mixed martial arts. You grab the best attributes from all fighting sports,
Mhm.
and you turn that into combat sport. That is what Bruce Lee did, man.
Mhm.
He said there is not one good form of kung fu. So
True.
he took all the good things from all forms,
Yeah, man.
and that's what he called Jeet Kune Do, man, which is actually mixed martial arts.
Mhm.
Because you have judo in it, you have boxing in it, taekwondo in it, you have everything in it. Okay, go.
You said that you perfect paraphrase. I grabbed the wrong one. This is it. This is Proverbs 18 and 12. Before destruction, the pride. Yes, like it. Before destruction, the pride of man is haughty, and before honor is humility.
Yeah, man. So the humbleness of a king, will bring forth honor, man, and honor from the people because they see how he is, and he will create his people to be like him, man, to be humble, to be honorable. Okay, they're gonna follow him. He's the tree. They are the fruit. Okay, the fruit of the tree. That's why Yahushua said, "You shall know him by his fruits. You should know them by his. You shall know him by his fruits."
The second Ezra,
Yeah.
second Ezra chapter 9 and 13. Therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created.
Funny as hell, man. This fat Jake, he wanted to hurt his brother by by pushing the skateboard to his ankle, and then the Jake walked and he just blocked it. Without looking, without looking. Boom.
I know this.
This monkey is gonna try and hurt me. He was like, clock, he blocked the thing, and then you saw the fat Jake like, didn't work. He wanted to hurt his brother for no reason. Hey, the children of Israel are beautiful people,
Yeah,
man.
man.
But it's too bad that they are in this state right now, that they are mentally destroyed, man.
Lower state.
So why did I ask this again?
Um,
Someone said something.
Concerning the punishment of that we should be multiplied with how the righteous can be saved, said the judgment for the female.
Yeah, man. Yeah, even though you're very freaking angry at these hosts, day in and day out, judgment will come. Oh yeah, because I said in the kingdom, you're not gonna be able to punish them, by making them jealous of something that they are not with you. So it makes no sense. Just take them. They're gonna be righteous anyway. Just take them, but then give them a lower position than other females. And even then, they're not gonna be envious. They just accept their place, and that is a beautiful thing, man. A woman to accept the place that has been given unto her. Okay, but the women that will stay with you, or that will show you love. You don't have to be in a relationship, but women that will show you love and that will, you know, be cool with you. Like yesterday, me and him we was in the city. We went to get some food,
Mhm.
and there was a group of 4 females, but they split up and they said bye to each other. So I said bye. I said bye too. I jumped in the conversation.
Yeah.
The two that walked to the other side of the street, they didn't say bye, and then the other two that came by us said bye. They were all happy and stuff like that. That I said something to them. So the two that went to the other street, I was like, fuck them. These two, they good.
They're good.
In the kingdom, I'm gonna set y'all up. You see? Same thing goes for certain heathens, man. Certain heathens that help you out in this side, hey, they're gonna get a position, man. They're gonna get a position above other heathens, man. Of course, man. I got this dude, but he might be a jig though, man. Cause he on some other stuff, man. But he's a Kurd,
Mhm.
which he's Turkish type of dude. But a lot of these Kurds are actually Jake, man. So I think he's a Jake actually, man. Cause he cool, man. Cool, man. So fuck it. Come on.
I got a principle.
Yeah, because my point is already invalid. Because I think he's a Jake. I was gonna say that I'm gonna put him over these Edomites. Because he hates these. He hates these devils. He said, "Fuck these devils, man." I was talking on the phone with him yesterday. He said, "Fuck these tatas." He speaks Surinamese.
Yeah, okay,
He's
okay.
good, but he can speak.
That's cool.
Yeah, man, he's dope.
Yeah, man.
Instances, they always know 2, 3, 4 languages.
Easily, even from
Yeah.
birth.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, my son, my brothers, not my sons, my brothers, my little brothers, they speak Norwegian, they speak Dutch, they speak English, and they speak Papiamento, 4 languages, and they like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, man.
So they put on a subtitle or something, you know.
When I'm gonna chill at my dad's house, my father's house, we sit at the table, we speak 4 languages at the same time.
Yeah, man.
You know. Also, when you go to family parties, when I go to a family party at my wife, Spanish, Papiamento, Surinamese, English, Dutch,
Yeah, man.
all languages being spoken, man. And sometimes also amongst each other. For example, I'm chilling with this brother, we start speaking English. It's more rough.
Yeah,
It's more
yeah.
rough in the English.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
comes straight,
Yeah. That's true.
direct. In the Dutch, sometimes it's a little bit soft. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
doesn't sound
exactly.
dope.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound dope. That's why Dutch is taking a lot of English words nowadays in their day-to-day speech.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's true.
Second Samuel.
Even the supermarket here is called Jumbo.
Yeah, man. Jumbo.
Yeah. Jumbo means big, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's English. Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
They say Wi-Fi, but what does it mean? Wireless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay, let's say hi-fi. Hi-fi.
Yeah.
You know.
I had also a precept.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted, because that's why I pointed out like these females.
Yeah, something about the
despising
females
you,
too.
man, despising you. You know, in your happiness, in your this king, he went among the people. That was the point. That he went among the people. He lowered himself. He came in humbleness and meekness amongst his people, dancing, happy,
Happy.
because they could glorify Yahweh Bashim Yashai, because the Ark of the Covenant was returned. Okay, and then you have this fucking demonic devil looking out of the window, despising her own husband, who is the king. Do you not realize that you are sitting next to me in the king's house, and still you give me this look?
Bitter woman.
This is Second Samuel, chapter 6, and verse 17. They brought in the ark of the Lord Jehovah and set it in its place in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord Jehovah. And as soon as David had made an end offering,
And how did he do that? With the Levites. He didn't do it himself. He brought the Levites in and they did it, because he's not allowed to do it, even though King David has an ephod himself. Okay, now it's being questioned whether Samuel was a Levite or Ephraimite, because Samuel was given an ephod also, which the ephod is something that the Levites wear, but still King David had an ephod also. Okay, and Samuel worked in the temple with Eli. Does that make him a Levite? Not necessarily. You see, because it said that he was an Ephrathite, which an Ephrathite is an inhabitant of Bethlehem, but also an Ephraimite. And King David was also an Ephrathite. Is he an Ephraimite then? No, because he is of the house of Judah, because Yahushua is a descendant of David. So David is not an Ephraimite. He's a Judite, which is an inhabitant of Bethlehem, which the mount of Ephraim would go down from the land of the land of Ephraim to the land of Benjamin to the land of Judah. That is the whole complete mount of Ephraim, man. Yeah, look in your Bible. Do you have your maps with height? You know, they show you like the height where the mountains is at, the little geographical type of map. Because I have it.
Yeah, I mean,
And Gideon, he made also an ephod with golden rings.
Gideon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
read it.
I did the test, so I'm still in it.
I can't remember that.
I think so. Let me look.
Okay, read it.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 18. But Samuel ministered before the Lord Yahweh, being a child,
Kijk, look.
girded
I said, kijk,
with a linen ephod.
look. So you have parts on the map that are darker, right? And the places that are darker represents mountains. And now, how did I verify that? Here it says Mount Sinai. It's like Mount Sinai with the question mark. But if you look, it's the region is darker. Now here is the same thing with the map of Israel. You see that from, like I said, from Ephraim to Benjamin. Look, here's the land of Ephraim. Here's the land of Benjamin, and here's the land of Judah. You have this dark region, which is this mountain area that the landscape of Israel had. You have it too? No, you don't have it. My Bible.
Oh yeah, this one.
In my Bible.
So my Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. No. Yeah. This is it. It says a geographical feature above. Yeah, okay, that's dope. But here you see it even better, man. Not saying that your Bible is dope.
Yes, it is.
Know what I'm saying?
You had the same Bible back then.
Yeah, I have that Bible too. So
See, so here
yeah, but I don't know which stripe.
you can
I don't
see
know.
that this is the highest
You know which
piece,
stripe he is?
and the green part, that is where the greenery is. That is the high part. You can see it.
He was Manasseh.
You can read about the heights here.
Ephraimites, what? Ephraimites got angry at him.
Yeah, and he made an ephod from
Yeah,
gold.
but this is the time of judges. They did a lot of things. That were not right.
Yeah.
You know? So let's not.
40 years good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and also with the idols and stuff like that,
Mhm.
setting priests up for idols and stuff like that, fighting over idols that
Mhm.
the man just created a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 2 and 18. But Samuel ministered before the Lord Yahweh, being a child, girded with a linen ephod. Back in 2 Samuel chapter
What? I thought you was gonna read the thing about the Michael, man.
I had that come for you concerning.
Okay, read it again. Slakia. I was like, linen ephod. I was like, huh? Wait a minute, read that again.
God, this is 1 Samuel chapter 2 and 18. Samuel ministered before the Lord Yahweh, being a child, girded with a linen ephod.
Yeah, so he was girded with a linen ephod, and he ministered, which means to serve. He helped out, in the temple with Eli. Okay, go back.
Little ephod. It's gold, right? It's not.
Yeah, different ones. King David also had a linen ephod.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 6.
The high priest, I believe the high priest had a golden ephod.
And what you was talking about in the book of Judges, that was became a snare to him when he made the ephod.
Yeah, they was fighting over
They were fighting over it, and there was a curse on his family and his sons.
because his one son killed all the 70 sons
Yeah, man.
for
Wicked.
that ephod. You see? So yeah, man. How do they call it? This golden curse,
Mhm.
gold curse.
Mhm.
When you see the gold, you get all messed up in the mind.
Yeah, man.
These Edomites had that when they came to the land of America.
Gold fever. Yeah.
Yeah, El Dorado.
El Dorado.
Yeah. Yeah, man, there's gold fever, man. Fucking slaughtering each other for that gold. They go on a conquest, which is rape, rob, and murder, to get gold. Let's say a group of Edomites, 5 Edomites, and one ends up killing all of them,
Yeah,
so
man.
he has more gold for himself. That's that gold fever.
Yeah, man.
That's sick. And also, when America was established, under the rule of these devils, in the middle region of America, you had lawless areas because there was that gold. Dakota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and these mountain areas. There was lawless areas. There were no laws there. People would kill each other left and right. Man. You would walk in the streets, shoot you in the head, take your stuff. Okay, go on.
This is 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 18.
Can I say something real quick? In the Suriname, you also have that kind of goalkeeper there. Because you have Suriname, it's against Brazil, and you have French Guyana, and then you have Guyana.
Mhm.
So there's not really a border between Suriname and Brazil. You have the mountains and the trees, but you know that's when
Nobody crosses through that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
but these people do. The people that look for the gold in
For the
Suriname.
gold.
Yeah, my father did it.
So these Brazilians, they go up to and fro in Suriname just to get the gold. But my little brother, he was doing it also, and he says the gold is like a spirit. Because when they go there, they know it's there. That's then he waits until everybody goes to sleep, and then maybe he would go at night, or he would say, no, there's nothing there. The scout says nothing's there. He leads the people to the other side, but then when he comes back, he knows it was there. But then, just like a spirit, it leaves. But that's what they say, But it can also be other spirits blinding their desire. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's how they pronounce it in Suriname. The gold fever.
Yeah, man. Because the scriptures also speak about groves. Groves are places that are completely swept where Jake used to worship entities, man. Which those entities are real, man. And you have those entities in the woods also, in the forest of Suriname, man. South America. You have
Mhm.
entities there, man.
It's true.
Because of the witchcraft that was being done there. Okay? A lot of witchcraft, man. Worshipping of entities. Because in South America, you have people, they get certain spiritual powers through these entities, man. Haiti, Dominican Republic, Suriname, okay? On the Antillean Islands.
Yeah,
That
man.
goes back to that witchcraft that you were talking about. That the zodiac. Some people they worship the zodiac signs, but these other witches from Suriname, they think that they're busy with white magic. That they're busy with something good. But if you don't give to the spirit what it's due, that spirit's gonna turn on you.
Mhm.
That's right. Did I tell you the story of this man? He was also looking for gold, and but he got lost from his group. And then I believe it was in South America or Guyana. I think it was in Guyana. And then he was lost. He got lost in the forest. And then he came in the village, but there was nobody in the village. And then he went into a hut of the village because he was like, yeah, he had to get some rest. And then in the night he woke up and there was all these spirits telling him to leave. So the village was inhabited by spirits, man.
Mhm.
You see, and he had to go, man. He was surrounded with spirits, man. These
That's why
things happen.
they always say also to the Suriname that when you're in the forest, don't take out your rod and just
Hey,
start
you
peeing
just stop
somewhere.
being. Hey,
Ask maybe everything comes from the Basham outside, but that you have these spirits that, like when you say it's swept or something like that. So maybe you want to pee on it. Hey, your rod's gonna fall off or something's gonna bite it. So you gotta be circumspect. And then back then they used to say pray over it or ask if you can, pee
can
over
pee.
it or stuff like that. Just those things, just like you say.
But that goes back to those groves, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That Jake looks as being sacred. Ask and
Yeah,
pray
pray.
if you can be there. Fuck out
Yeah,
here, man. I'll be there, man.
Hey, this
You
is
see that
beautiful.
that stuff doesn't have no effect on you if you are in your Basham Shah. You just be there, man.
It is a
The demon be
documentary.
like, most I looking,
with the angel.
most I looking down with the angel, like, what you gonna do?
That's my
What you
thing.
gonna
This
do? Wait. What you gonna do? The demon be like,
Do
and in
we
fact,
have
yeah,
Problem,
we
do
have a
we have a
problem here.
problem?
Yeah, the spirit of the Most High is on him. And what we are saying, it might sound like a joke, but this happened to this Levite witch doctor, man, from Haiti. He sent demons to these men that were preaching in Brooklyn. He sent demons to him. One demon, little demon. He said, "I sent little demon. Like, get these things." Then the demon never came back.
this was taking away all the customers? Right?
Yeah, the customers for the voodoo. Then he sent a bigger demon. Go get these niggas. Then the demon came back. He said, "No, can't touch them. Can't touch them. They protected." Then he was like, "Well, what they talking? What this man talking about? No, protected how? The demon just left back into the spiritual realm.
It's crazy.
Then he astral projected himself, meaning his spirit left his body, and he went to look himself, and he said he saw flaming angels, full of flames with flaming swords in their hands, stand protecting them. Now, what he saw is scriptural, which he doesn't even know. Yeah, Ezekiel 9, give me that. And also Genesis chapter 1. Is it 1?
At the end.
One and yeah, the one, the yeah, at the end. Yeah, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. I thought it's 2. Maybe. Yeah, it's 2. It's 2. 2 and no, it's 3. So like yeah, Genesis 3 and
Yeah, that is 24.
yeah. Read, read this first. You was very confident with the Ezekiel 9, and now you asking me what verse? Funny.
But the month
No, it's
No,
it's not. It's not 9. It's 8.
That the angel is coupled with fire.
It's
I
8.
was saying
Ezekiel 8 and 1. Start at 1.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I said in mine house, and the elders
So Slakia, we speak about things that we have heard over the years from the land of South America. You know, a lot of these things, our family comes from there. So we heard a lot of these things, man. A lot of voodoo and witchcraft that they done did, or what they've seen in the neighborhood. You know, actually, in St. Martin, you had the Levite woman, witch woman, and a Simeonite witch woman fighting against each other with voodoo and shit like that. All kinds of crazy shit, man. These are stories and things we have actually seen over the years. Now, I understand that, you know, brothers from Babylon, you know, they haven't heard about these things, okay? Because we from South America, we would call y'all city boys. City boys don't know about that. But that's why I'm trying to show you that it's all to be backed up with the scriptures, because these things that these men have seen are in the scriptures, man. Okay, so the man, the Levitical, I call him Levitical because he was a Haitian. This voodoo doctor, he described what he saw. These men were protected by spirits. He said they were protected by spirits that were full of fire and had flaming swords also. So read on with this, the angel, because it's in the scripture. This type of angel is right there in the scripture.
Ezekiel chapter 8, verse 1. And it came to pass in the 6th year, in the 6th month, in the 5th day of the month, as I said in mine house, and the elders of Judah stood before me, that the land of the Lord Jehovah fell there upon me. Then I beheld a lo, a likeness as the appearance of fire, from the appearance of his loins, even downward, fire, and from his loins even upward, as the appearance, brightness, as the color of amber.
Yeah, man. So this angel appeared, and from his loins upward, he was fire. From his loins downwards, he was full of fire, man. Just like how you see Goku in his God form, he's full of fire, man. Type in Goku God form, GIF, Goku God form GIF. Okay, then probably you see the fire enfolding itself. You see, so this is what he saw. An angel full of fire, man, covered from top to bottom. Let me see.
Psalms 104, verse 4. Who maketh his angels his ministers of flaming fire.
Yeah, man. So the angels are a flaming fire, man. Ministers, servants, like a flaming fire, man. They're pure energy. They are pure energy, man. That's why the celestial body, it's not consisted of flesh and blood. Celestial bodies, which comes from the word cielo, cielo, which means heaven. Selu means heaven. Heavenly bodies, which are angels and spirits, people that their spirit go to the heavens. And in the heavens, you will have your own body. You have a heavenly body. Okay, here on the earth, we have terrestrial bodies, which terrestrial comes from the word terra, which terra means earth or ground, bodies from the ground. So, yeah, in 1 Corinthians 15? Yeah.
Put that 10, I'm not reading.
Okay, let him read that first about the angel. With the fiery
Of the cherubims. This is Genesis 3, verse 24. So we drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and a flaming sword, which turneth every way to keep the way of the tree of life.
You see that? So this man came with the spirit to jack these men up. And then he saw angels with flaming swords covered with fire, man. Then he understood what these demons meant. He understood that these demons said you can't touch them because the ministers of the Heavenly Father are surrounding them. And what does the scripture say? Read it.
Psalms 34, verse 7. Angel of the Lord Jehovah encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Yeah, man. So these men, they were teaching. They were teaching in the Bronx or Brooklyn. I think it was in the Bronx. Now, where did this truth start? In the Bronx, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
see? Now, you ain't going to see no Edomites teaching in the Bronx because he said they was teaching this Jesus or something. Now, the people that walk around here, they also say we preach Jesus. But when they come here, we say the Lord's name is not Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai. So you can't say like, yeah, but he said they was preaching Jesus. No, that's what he sees from the outside or what he heard from people. They preach a black Jesus, stuff like that. That's not what we preach. We preach that the Lord Yahweh Shai is a dark-skinned man. So and you ain't gonna see, like I said, you ain't gonna see no crackers preaching Jesus in the Bronx, man. These were Jakes, okay? And he said they was leading away his customers. Now, which customers go to a voodoo doctor? Jake. You see? So which people would be in front of them teaching? Jake. Okay? So you already know what this is going into, man. It's all spiritually connected. And this is an old documentary. And in this documentary, he gets very emotional because he was haunted by these spirits first when he was but a youth, man. When he was a child, 9, 8 years old, sleeping in his mother's house, all demons everywhere. He go crazy, man. And then his parents said, "You just gotta accept it, man. This is your inheritance, basically, your lot. This is what we do. This is our work. Just gotta accept that this is a part of you." So he went crazy until he accepted it, and he started making money with it. So he said these men that were preaching Jesus, that's what he said in the documentary, they led away these men from him. So he wanted to attack them, but guess what? Read it again.
Psalm 34, verse 7. The angel of the Lord Jehovah encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them.
Yeah, man, the angel of the Lord encampeth around them that fear Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay, so the angels are around the men that to protect them, man. Okay, sometimes, man, I'm driving. Just to give an example, what I feel in the spirit. Sometimes I'm driving and I don't pay attention to the road, but then something tells me look up. If I'm looking on my phone or looking for something in the car, something tells me look up, and then I swerve.
Correct.
Because there was something there. Last time I was going on the highway, and you know the vluchtstrook next to the highway, the lane next to the highway, if your car breaks down or something, you know, when you go on the highway, you have the line there, but you always cross the line. What is most convenient for you according to the speed that you are going? You're not gonna stay between the lines. You're like, yeah, I go whatever I want. So I was going, but then I was typing something on my phone, and then something told me look up, and I look up. There was a freaking car there. So I went shoof shoof at the last moment. Shoof shoof. Ran around it. I'll be like, hey, call Allah, y'all Bashir Shai to what y'all Bashir Shai. It's like an angel that smacks you like,
yeah, man. But hey,
look up,
like,
man. Smack. Look up. And then you look up, you're like, oh shit. Also another yeah, I can call him a brother, even though he's not really in his right mind now. Yara Tazai, he snapped out of it. But he crashed with his car, man. Boom, 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 boom. He went from the one side of the highway against the rail. Then he did flips with his car. Blah 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 blah.
Crazy.
Boom, car stopped. He just stepped out. Whoa, like this, like whoa. And then people stopped along the highway and they looked at him. They said, "Huh? You okay?" He was completely fine, man. He had nothing. His car was totally damaged. Couldn't drive no more.
Him, man.
Yeah, man. Couldn't drive no more, man. It was finished, man. Okay? And if you watch this movie, X-Men, Dark Phoenix, She also does that, man. She creates like a force field around the people to protect them from all kinds of things, man. Okay, angels have that power, man. Force field. So yeah, man. Go on. Go back to the ceremony.
Precept where two prophets they were surrounded and then they were scared. But then the other prophets said, "Hey, we're not alone. You know, we got angels among us." And then when there was
Oh,
more,
that's Kings. That's Kings. Second Kings.
Can I say something,
Yes.
Bakasha? I want to say about Suriname because he was talking about in the wilderness. Yeah, you know the documentary from the Suriname guy, interviewer, and he went on an expedition with some Edomites, and
6 and 12.
he was there with the tour guide from the wilderness, you know, because he know the whole wilderness. Then he said to the guy, "Don't pee," because what you was talking about, don't pee nowhere against the trees, you know. And that Jake, you know, he grew up over here, so he went to the university over here in Leiden and that kind of, so he was feeling with the Edomites like he's one with them. And he was like, I don't believe in that nonsense. Then he
What
went
nonsense?
to pee in the well because the tour guide said to him, don't pee against the trees, you know, you need to ask.
Okay, but his coming here into the Western world made him
Made him
disbelieve.
disbelieve.
Yeah.
So he was like the one bold because these Edomites was like, oh, maybe we should listen to him. He was like, no,
It's nothing,
this is
man.
it's nothing. They always come with the superstition things. Then he went to pee against the tree. Then the tree started to make a sound. Then you see how you call it, schuim. Yeah, scoom came from the tree, man. And he jumped there. He jumped in a tree where there was all needles, you know. He was afraid. He ran like in the tree. And the documentary is from Holland. I tried to search it for y'all to show you, you know. It's like, I think in the 60s in Suriname. And I saw that thing. I was like laughing at that dude, you know. I was like, hey, that Jake, man, disbelief.
Give me Isaiah to jump on your phone real quick. Isaiah chapter 5.
Okay.
Start at 1.
Isaiah 5. Verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved, a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved had a vineyard in a very fruitful hill.
Yeah, the fruitful hill represents Israel, the land of Israel. Read.
And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine, built a tower in the midst of it.
Yeah, so read it again.
Verse 2. And he fenced it.
He fenced it. The fence represents the protection. He fenced it. He fenced it. He gave us the protection of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in the midst of the fruitful hill, which is Israel. And he put in there what?
Built a tower in the midst of it.
No.
And gathered out stones thereof and planted it with choice.
What are you reading? The tower was David, right? Yeah, you said and build a tower, and then you said and gathered out the stones. No. So read it again.
Verse 2. And he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof.
Yeah, gathered out the stones thereof, which the stones are the heathens. The heathens were taken out. Get out of here. Get out of here. But. The heathens are gone to a certain degree because the children of Israel didn't really obey their Heavenly Father. Hey, we need the
Power bank.
Give me the power bank. Okay, read on. So he took up the stones out of it. How is it empty so fast?
And planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it.
Planted it with the choicest vine. The choicest vine is Israel. Give me that in Jeremiah. My people is to me as a pleasant plant. But how did you turn into a degenerate plant? You have it? Yes. Sin. You rough it up, man. Don't rough it up.
Don't rough it up.
You know how some jakes, when they need to put a plug into something, they be like, turn it around, man. You know, even though it doesn't fit, they still trying to rough it up. Don't rough it up, man.
Nah, man.
Go on.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, holy as right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant, a strange vine unto me?
Yeah, so we are that glorious vine that the Most High has planted and fenced. He has fenced it. Read on. Um, yeah, back to Isaiah.
Back in Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 2. And build a tower in the midst of it,
Yeah, the tower is Jerusalem.
and also made a winepress therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes.
Yeah, man. Unacceptable fruits, which that those are the children of Israel. That they turned into a degenerate vine, man. That is not acceptable. So what happened? Read on.
And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem, and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, between me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it?
Yeah, the Most High has taken care of the children of Israel over and over again, man, constantly. He took care of us. What more could I have done, man? He still followed other gods, still did all kinds of crap and nonsense, man. What more could I have done? Right?
Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes.
Unacceptable children. Okay?
And
Most
now,
High still took care of them.
and now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof.
I will take away the hedge thereof. So that's why this is what I wanted to point out, because the brother was speaking about the documentary. He was all proud and stuff like that. But guess what? He didn't have no fence. He didn't walk with the protection of Yahweh Shem Yoshai. So these demons, they leaped on him, man. The same thing went for the exorcists. They didn't have the fence. So the man that was with the demons, he beat the crap out of them, man, until they ran out of the house naked. Why? Because the Most High had no fence around this man. You see, no protection, because he didn't walk by faith. So the same thing with this Jake that went back to Suriname. Be like, oh, this all rubbish. I don't believe in it. Oh, you're gonna find out, boy. Jump into the air, jump into the tree with all the needles and shit like that. Because you don't want to listen. You see, you don't have that protection. You don't have that fence. Okay? Go on.
Reading on, and it shall be eaten up, and break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down.
Yeah, man. And when was it trodden down? 70 AD. Not only 70 AD, by the way. It was trodden down multiple times, man. By the Babylonians, by the Assyrians, by the Medo-Persian Empire, by the Greeks, especially by the Greeks and Romans, man. Because that perpetual hatred. When Esau comes into rulership, he will show his perpetual hatred towards the children of Israel.
Yeah. This is Numbers 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel.
That's right. So as long as the children of Israel are with Yahweh Hashem Yashai, enchantments and wickedness and witchcraft is not gonna work, man, because of that hedge. The hedge is Yahweh Hashem Yashai that protects you. Like the scripture says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and is safe. That is that hedge, man. What else? The name of the Lord is like a shield and a strong buckler, okay, which is the armor, man. Yahweh Hashem Yashai is your armor. Okay, that's why these angels are protecting us. Read on.
Numbers 22 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what had Yahweh wrought.
Yeah. So the moment that these enchantments and this wickedness is able to come upon you, then you already know you're not walking in the right way, man, the right path. Okay. This wickedness is nothing compared to the power that is given unto us and the protection that is given unto us, by the Heavenly Father, His Son. You see? Yeah.
This is Psalm 39. This is Psalm 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fire, in their fury, they on sore strokes In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him.
Break it down.
We go further.
So there are spirits. The Most High can send out spirits, demonic entities that help upon people to take vengeance and to appease the wrath of the Most High. Okay, some people do wickedness. The Most High pours out a demon upon a man. He starts slaughtering them. Yeah, spiritual hitman.
Yeah, yeah.
He starts slaughtering them. The Most High is like, away with these demons, away with these evil men. I don't want them to be in the earth. It's not good. And he creates an evil man to do the thing, man, a murderer. See, the Most High is judge over all the earth.
Even
Shall
children.
there be evil done in the city and the Most High had not done it? The Most High does these things. Does that make the Most High evil? No. The Most High performs his work, his mighty works in the earth. Because he's king of the earth. That's why when the children of Israel came to Samuel and said they want a king, Samuel was like, what you talking about, man? We have a king. Yahweh is our king. Why you want a king? Why you want a king like the heathens? What profit is there? To be y'all want to be like them, don't you? Yes, they did want to be like him.
That's true.
Like the heathens.
That's true.
Okay? Which is foolishness, man.
Yeah, man.
Go on.
That's why I brought out the scripture, because if these enchantments and incantations and stuff meet you, that means the Most High ordained it and that you are wicked. You know, these things don't happen to men that walk in the way of Yahweh. Sirach 39, verse 29. Fire and hail and famine and death and all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Yeah, man. So now you have these killer whales, these orcas, destroying boats in the coast of West Africa. Okay, like the Spanish islands. I don't want to refer to these islands as being Spain, because it's fucking just like I wouldn't refer to the Antillean Islands as being Holland. These devils do that.
They
Because
do
they
that.
say, yeah, we colonized it, so it's ours. Fuck out of here, man. Okay? Because they said that in the news, the smaller parts of Holland, the islands of Holland. The islands of Holland.
Yeah, that is how they call it.
Bitch ass out of here, man. Talking about the islands of Holland. Shows you their spirit is still the same. They still have this slave master mentality. The islands of Holland. It's fucking on the other side of the ocean, man.
Yeah, man.
Talking about the islands of Holland. Anyway, yeah, those are the islands of Holland.
Yeah?
He was whispering Texel.
Oh, Texel, the water islands. Yeah.
He's whispering that. I was like, yeah, those are the islands of Holland, because that is part of Holland. But Aruba, Curaçao, Bonaire, Saint Martin, Saba, Sint Eustatius are not your islands, man.
But still, they refer
Jake
like
is
it.
there, man. Fuck out of here, man. And they even said about Aruba and Curaçao, like the economy over there is going down so hard, and the people over there are really like not flourishing and making a lot of money. They said, let's just bring them all over here to Holland, and then Esau gonna rule the islands. So they want to take all the Jakes out of it and just take over the whole island.
Yeah, man, that is, I know.
What the fuck is that? This is their home. See? Not Suriname. I'm talking about the island.
The island. And they had a military drill. That was an illegal military drill in Curaçao, man. They don't give a shit, man.
Unsanctioned.
Yeah, unsanctioned.
They went into they went into a certain power plant or something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, man. But it's all to cover it up. Because if you watch Iron Man 2, Iron Man 1. Then Tony Stark, he just invented this suit, right?
That is, I think it is one.
Okay, yeah, it's one. He just invented the suit, and then he flew to the Middle East to do some destroying and shit like that, the places where he was being captive. And then he flew back, and the fighter jets saw that he came in the airspace, and they started attacking him. And then one fighter jet got destroyed because he defended himself. Like, what the fuck? And then the the colonel. How do you call it? Colonel. Yeah, the
Colonel.
colonel of the Air Force. He was like, "This is Tony Stark, probably." So he called him. He said, "Hey, do you know something about some unidentified flying object?" And he called him from the suit, flying away from this.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And then he said, "Oh, yeah, I might know something about it." And then he said, "Stop." And then he said, "Yeah, but you crashed one fighter jet, man. How am I gonna explain this? In the media." He said, "Just cover it up and just say it was a military drill." He said, "Yeah, it's not that easy. I cannot always say that." And then the scene was over, and he was in front of the people. Yeah, it was a drill. It was a military drill, and no casualties were made, and it was unsanctioned, something to that effect. So you see,
That is how they do it.
always when something happens or something undercover mission is going on, they say it was a military drill, unsanctioned military drill. So it's a cover up,
Yeah, man.
cover up. But Esau claims these islands as wants to claim these islands totally like that. But to go back to the story, these killer whales was attacking Edomites, on the Canary Islands, which are Spanish islands, at the coast of West Africa, destroying ships, man, completely destroying yachts, ships. Meanwhile, killer whales, their nature is not really like that. Okay, because in a certain way, these killer whales understand that they are dealing with the intelligent species. Because Esau, of course, is researching them because Esau goes diving with them. Now you might think like, how can killer whales attack seals and not a man in a diving suit that looks like a seal? They say because the killer whale understands that you're intelligent also. Because the killer whale is freaking intelligent. Man. So in this documentary, the killer whale caught a stingray and he brought it to the man, to the diver. Like here, you have food. You need some food, right? He understands that he's dealing with the intelligent species. But now, Spirit of the Most High came upon these killer whales. They're like, fuck these devils, man. With their fucking motors and their fucking boats, man. Destroy them, man. And a lot of animals are going to be stirred up in the spirit by Yahweh Shai to destroy this kingdom also, man. And to take vengeance upon the heathens, because the earth is mourning too, man.
That's right.
You see? The earth is mourning too. Now, before you go on there, finish the thing with Michael. Man. Michael is the name.
Michael, yeah. Back in 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 18. And as soon as David had made an end of offering, burnt offering, and peace offering, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord Jehovah host. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men, to everyone a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh.
So here the king was serving the people, man. He was serving the people food. Hey, you have some food. Hey, you have some food. He was doing it, man. So he lowered himself amongst the common folk. Okay? And he was happy also. Go on.
And a flagon of wine, all the people departed, everyone to his house.
Wine, pups. Happy one was good, man.
Then David returned to bless his household. And
David came in. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Come here. He wanted to bless his children, anoint them. God, Yahweh, not Yahweh Shai, of course, in that time. He was just bless his household, and then what?
And Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said,
She looking with the evil eyes. I already see this nigga woman, man. Looking.
Bitter woman, a bitter woman.
Look at it. All happy and stuff. Listen, man, if the Philistines took over the city, you would have been raped, man. Talking about it, man. You would have been raped. Would you look at your man then with evil eyes? No, man, because it would be finished, man. You see? But now, through victory, you still despising, looking at him with despising eyes, man. What is that, man? Go on.
How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaid of the servant.
Read that again, Slacker.
Yeah, just what her response was. So, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "How glorious was the king of Israel today!"
Yeah, this is sarcastic. Oh, how glorious was the king of Israel today. Read on.
Who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids, the servant.
Yeah, you even uncovered yourself, man. You became on their part, on their level, and his rod came out, man.
As one of the vain fellows shamelessly covered himself.
Okay, so here it is. You're happy. You bless your children, your household. Now your wife comes in, and then you be like, huh? Oh, how great was the king today? Shamelessly uncovered himself, you see, and danced like the lower base fellows amongst these people. So he's, you know, he's still holding the bottle of oil. You gotta visualize.
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
That's
You,
all
you
I
need to
am.
visualize it.
You be like, huh? Talking. What's away the bottle? Like that. So, John, it's like, huh?
And David said unto Michal,
So she was like, so she said, and David was like, oh,
was before the Lord Jehovah.
you know what? It was before the Lord Jehovah that I did this. You do know that, right? You know?
Which chose me before the father.
He chose me actually before your father. You remember that. Your father that is dead now, which you're honored up till his death, and after his death, his lineage. The Most High chose me before him. Do you realize that? Read on.
And before all his house.
And before all his house. Go on. Because the lineage of King Saul was X'd out as rulership. So he said, even before his lineage, I am set up as king. Because after King Saul, you had Ibosheth, which Ibosheth, he couldn't even rule. Because Abner was doing all the work. Abner, which was the general of the army of King Saul, he was doing everything. So at a certain point, Abner took the concubine of King Saul, and then Ibosheth was like, yeah, you can't just do that. Abner was like, what? What you mean, boy? I can't do this. Abner was a man of war, man. And he looked at this little boy, this Ibosheth, like, hey, what you gonna tell me? I'm ruling this kingdom for you. Because you are too insecure and too small to even comprehend what the hell you're doing, man. That's why Abner went on his own to King David and was like, you know what? It's better if you be king. So he made the agreement with King David. He was like, it's better if you be set up, you make peace, and you just become king of whole Israel. And then Joab came. That did.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
But in some way, what Abner was doing was not right neither, because he went against his king. But he looked at, first you have King Saul, big buff man, sitting on the throne. He was equal to not even equal. He was bigger than Abner, but Abner was looking at him like respectfully. And then his son comes, he had no respect for him. That's why he just took that woman. You know,
to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord Jehovah, over Israel.
So King David said, you do know that I'm set up before your whole household, your family, your brothers, everyone, your father even. The Most High preferred me. And here it is, you of the same household are talking smack to me like this. I already see it, like, he's on his mirth and stuff, but then somebody says something stupid, and then the whole drunkenness.
Yeah, man. Everything.
Yeah,
you sober.
Yeah, man. You know that feeling, right?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Destroys your vibe,
Yeah, man.
I had, yeah, man.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Yeah, think about rebuke someone in his mirth, because it will kill his vibe and make him very angry.
Yeah, man.
So this was sharp, like make him sharp. Okay, I'm gonna look for very, because through liquor you sometimes get more inspiration, right? Like going to the studio. Back in the days, you drink some liquor, you make crazy songs, or you write some crazy lyrics. Next time you go to the studio, you read the lyrics, you be like, what? I don't understand. What type of flow did I have here? I don't understand. You trying to flow it again, you be like, nah, man, this is not nothing. Man. You can't do nothing good. Because when you was in that verb, you had it. You had the inspiration. You was feeling it. Okay, so she destroyed his vibe completely, man.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Therefore, when I play before the Lord Jehovah,
He said, yeah, because the Most High has set me up in a beautiful place to rule the people before your father's house. That's why I will place it with Yahweh. That's why I will show my happiness, gladness, and honor and respect to Yahweh Shemel Shai amongst his people who celebrated with me. That's why. Read on.
And I will yet be more vile than dust.
Yeah. And you know what? Since you call me vile man, I will be even more vile. You know what? Read on.
And I will be base in mine own sight, and of the maidservants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor.
Yeah. And you know what? Those maid servants that you are being jealous of, who was in the midst, you know what? I will be held in honor for them. Because what was his plan? To take them. He's the king. He can do that. You know what? Don't worry about it. I will be even more filthy than you say I'm already on. You know what? Ah, you will see. You will see. You know?
Therefore,
Michael, listen. Therefore, Michael, listen very carefully. You have to understand how, and she was already like, oh, he actually coming to counter me. But you know, Jake woman, she's still coming with the attitude face, like, what you gonna tell
What you
me?
gonna do? Yeah.
David in his mirth, he was straight. Take his face straight. Therefore, Michael, read.
the daughter of Saul had no child to
Therefore,
the day.
yeah, therefore, Michael, daughter of Saul, boom,
Had no child unto the day of her death.
you will have no child of me. Put her in the dungeon. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, man.
Here it is. She thinks she's this royal daughter of the present, no, the former king. Your ass go into the dungeon, man. You ain't gonna get no child of me. Just for speaking your fucking mouth like that, man. Okay? Just for speaking your mouth like that. Okay? But therefore, we also looking at like, how can I let this woman see that what she did to me? How can I let her see in the kingdom that what she did to me wasn't good, man? But in the kingdom, that's gonna be done, man. Shame shall cover her. Okay? Shame shall cover her, and she will get her punishment over here. The Most High is gonna take care of that. What happened to Nabal? What happened to Nabal? King David was like, you know what? For your wife's sake, I will let you live. Most High was like, yeah, you're gonna let him live. Still put him to death. And then what did King David do? He said, he said, call Allah Yahweh, King of the earth, call Allah Yahweh. Because still it happened. You cannot disrespect me like that. Okay? Yeah, but that was heathen though. Go on. It is not good to disrespect the king. You can better grab Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, I think it's chapter 7. That you should not disrespect the king, because the angel is gonna bring it to the throne of the Most High, and you're gonna get jacked up, man. Okay? Ecclesiastes. I think it's
I have it.
Exodus. Oh, not Exodus. Oh. Yeah, you can also hold that, but this is it. It's like you're buried. I didn't read this for a while. But I never thought of God. Yeah, read that.
This is Exodus. Exodus chapter 22, verse 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, or curse the ruler of thy people. Well, the word gods also goes into rulers, angels, powers,
established governments.
and so you should not revile those. But it also says, nor curse the ruler of the people, which means that person, that king that has been set up over our nation. Which one of the examples when King David was ruling our people, that what was his name again? Verse 5 of chapter 16.
So yes,
It's there.
over there. So she broke the law also, man. She broke the law. Now this is the thing that happened also, man. Most I was not pleased with that. So the spirit came upon King David to sober up and to just jack her up on the spot, man. First, he gave her a good and bright explanation.
summary of her
Yeah, a
lineage.
summary of her lineage and what happened to her lineage, and that she actually has to be happy that he has her, right there with him as a wife. Talking about, look how proud and base you are dancing amongst these people. Aren't you of the royal? Aren't you a royalty? Aren't you a king right now? Hey, the greater the art, the more humble thou be. Man. He was amongst the children of Israel, celebrating and being happy about the victory. Here it is, this demonic female that took take, um, took up her position up into her head to the highest level of the Tower of Babel in her fucking mind. She exalted herself so high that the king brought her fucking low, man. Fuck out of here, man. You are nothing, man. Don't you see me? Don't you see that the Most High has chosen me above all your people, man? Your whole family that you claim to be so royal. I'm amongst my people, and I will celebrate in the sight of the Most High. That's what I will do. Now, as for you, get the fuck out of my sight. He probably said, "Hey, young man, get this fucking bitch out of my sight, man. Get this shameless dog out of my sight, man." And she's lucky he didn't put her to death because she broke the law. Thou shalt not revile the king of your people, man. Read.
It's Ecclesiastes 10, verse 20. Curse not the king, no, not in thy thought, and curse
Not even in your mind, you're supposed to curse the king. You're not even supposed to think bad about the king, man. Don't do this, man. You're gonna get jacked up, man. You better believe that. You're gonna be jacked up because this was gonna happen.
and curse not the rich in thy bedchamber, for a bird of the air shall carry the voice, and that which hath wings shall tell the matter.
What do you think that which had wings is talking about? It's talking about the angel. He's gonna go up to the throne of the Most High and talk about, hey, the man that you have set up as a king. Look at this beast. What she's doing. Okay. Now you had Vlad the Impaler. There is an account concerning him, how he was riding his horse through a village, and then a woman was given a loud mouth to her husband. And then when Vlad came and he saw that, he asked this man, like, is this your wife? He said, yeah. Why you allow her to talk to you like this? And then he said, yeah, I don't know. And then he cut off her head. He took a other woman. This is your new wife. You better obey him, otherwise the same thing is gonna happen to you. He was there, saw his wife's head chopped off. That's how it is, man. That's the state wherein these females supposed to be in subjection. These females don't understand the word subjection to begin with, man. Subjection means to have respect towards your husband, means to be under obedience. And another thing, it means to take advice from your husband. Okay? Advice. So when your husband says, it would be better if you do it like this and that, don't be rebellious. Don't go against him. Take his advice. And if it goes wrong, your man was in the wrong. Yes. Okay? And he has to go up to it also, like, hey, I have to admit that was not a good choice that I told you that you should make. But 9 out of 10 times, the man makes the good choice, man. Okay? And what these fucking demonic females do then, if they make their own choice, and they see that the advice that you gave them was good, but they didn't do it, so now the outcome is fucked up, they keep silent. They keep silent, and they don't tell you. And then you be like, after a while, you be like, hey, so how did this thing end up going? What? Something fucked up happened, huh? It didn't go out as you planned, huh? So you should have done my thing, right? Yeah. Why? Because this happened to my ex-demon. She said, why you have to press it on me like that? I said, why I have to press it on you? I don't press nothing on you. It's just vexing to you that I was right. Yeah, but you don't have to press it on me like this. I said, listen, man, you have to realize that if you just took my advice, it would have been good, man. But you're a fucking demon, of course. That's why. Read. Give me. That was done. Give me Ephesians. Or Timothy. Be subject unto your husband. I don't often go into these females, man, but I think it's time to blow off some steam.
Now, when you see the elders also, they go into it. constantly want to protect their demonic ways. Like, hey, I have a man that is he's not in the truth, but this and that. You know, he makes me want to go off and this and that. But then they want to put away that man and get a righteous man, so-called righteous man. No, man, you need to be under his rules, even if he's not in the truth. You know, that's the order of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You gotta stay under his order.
That's right.
That's true.
I have a scripture, 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse verse 24. And the servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient. And the word apt means to be skillful. You got to be skillful in teaching. Give good explanations. What I was telling this brother is like, when you teach, you have to teach in such a way and explain it in such a way that the person that is listening can basically project the movie in his mind. So this is then that, and if something, an error occurs, he can be like, hey, so and what happened then with this person? He comes with a question. Okay, but if you portray the whole thing, the scenario that happened, then the person is gonna get the understanding. Okay, that's why you always hear the elder apostles say, for example, this, for example, that, for example, that. So you can relate to the situation, because these things that happen now, in those days, were in the ancient times. You need an example of now that you can be like, oh, yeah, I understand what you mean. You can relate to it, okay? So you got to be apt to teach. Because of what? 2 Timothy 2:25, in meekness instructing those that oppose themselves. So what you were talking about is these females becoming on the comment board trying to, you know, get the right to do their evil ways, their evil things, put away their husband that they are married with, and because they now want the man of the Lord. They be looking at these brothers teaching, and their pussy get wet, man. Literally, their pussy get wet, man. If you have a wife, yeah, man. If you have a wife, don't allow your wife to watch other brothers' videos. Just tell her, watch my videos.
It's true.
And if I don't make videos, I will watch videos and I will explain you what it is all about.
Exactly.
Okay? Because it's fucked up, man. You know, you have women, they are impressed by men and their knowledge. So they're gonna have some affection towards this man because he's wise. Okay? He shows wisdom. You have females, they go after money. You have females that go after guys that are built muscular. And you have females that go after guys that know what the hell they're talking about. So automatically they're gonna look at him, and you know what females do? They look at the man and they compare it with their man.
Yeah. That is
They see a man in TV, like if you watch a series with your wife, and then you have this buff, ripped Jake pulling off his shirt. She be looking at him, she be looking at you.
Why don't you have that?
And she be looking again. These things is going through her mind, man.
She's
Believe
carnal.
it or not.
Yeah, I know.
Because this female goes all the way back to Eve. And Eve already did wickedness. Okay? So how much more wicked are these females today, man? They have lustful eyes, man. Okay? So when they look at these men, the same thing happens, man. Okay? So they're looking for a way to oppose the way of truth. But shouldn't you just obey the way of truth? Like it's going to say, in meekness, instructing those that oppose themselves. So we just pulling out the scriptures about how they have to be in subject, how they have to obey, how they have to be silent in the church, how they have to be silent in the churches, keep thy foot, learn in silence, okay? Ask your husbands at home, but no, you want to hear scriptures about Deborah. You want to hear scriptures about Sarah and everything, but not about the commandments. So what do? We instruct also you females in the way of truth. Understand, do you understand that the scripture says this? Okay, here it is. You have females that claim to be wise and all of that, but they make videos, go teaching and shit like that. What did you do with the scripture that says, I suffer another woman to teach? What did you do with that? Did you mark it with black or something? Come on, man. You want to claim to be all righteous, but when it comes down to righteousness, you don't want to do it. So it says, if the Most High pre-adventure will give them repentance to acknowledging of the truth. So we have to teach in order for them to acknowledge their mistakes and to walk in the way of truth, and that they may recover themselves out of the snare of the devil, who are taken captive by him at his will. So these females also have demons on them, man. They have fucking demons on them. Having the scriptures right in their hand, but doing the things that oppose the scriptures, man. Which the word oppose means to go against. There are another few script. There are another lot of scriptures that talk about females, but the ones that are there, why don't you apply them? Shit, man, it's crazy, man. For this cause ought the woman to cover her head. Why don't you do it then? What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Of the cover it.
Laws, you know, pertaining unto men, we trying to keep it to the best of our ability. Here you have a few for you. You can't do it. It's too hard for me. Why? Because you want to be all out there. You don't see men putting their own picture on their YouTube channel, but what do you see these females do? They put their face with the head, with the head wrap, not the head cover, but the head wrap, with the hair, you know, with the curls falling in front of the eyes and stuff like that. What are you doing, man? Okay, Juditas, princess of the heavens. Come on, man. What is this, man?
Daughter of Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, what? Yeah,
daughter of Yahweh. And that's that's the kinds of things you see, man.
This is the crazy things that
yeah,
we
man.
see. To be honest, I'm like, man, it's mad.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 5. And we not power to lead about a sister, a wife, as well as other apostles, and as the brethren of the Lord, and Cephas. So it shows you that we actually do have the power to instruct, you know, those people that are listening, because the word lead, the Polish dictionary says to show the way, to by going in advance, to guide or direct in a course, which is what we're doing, is trying to lead those people into righteousness, how they're supposed to conduct themselves.
Thinking about a lot of things, man. Read the scriptures.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 13. And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Yeah, man. If this man loves you, why the fuck would you have to leave him? You see? Yeah, but he doesn't really love me. Still, you gotta stay with him. Try what you trying. What do you want us to tell you? You see, that's something sometimes I question. I'm like, what do you want? Y'all just want to hear what is pleasing unto you. Because if you don't give them the right answer, they go to someone else to ask, like, would he allow me to leave my husband? Go to IYC if you.
That's what I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it.
Go to IYC if you want to hear these things.
But that's why you
want to be passed around.
Yeah.
We will tell you the truth, man.
Hey, but that's why I most of the time when I look, sometimes you see the same woman who on the comment board by GMS, and then you say, oh, she's on IYC. Then she there yapping, and Elder Manata Sakba, he caught a lot of them, you know. He'd be like, hey, don't do that shit. You coming on our comment board, but I see you on the other Israelite groups, you know, you be there yapping your mouth, but she knows she need to be in order, because in GMS, you be like, you know, they're quiet. But when they're on the other comment board of Sakari, of all these police scriptures, being all loud mouth, it'd be like, okay, yeah, man, stop that, man.
This is First Timothy chapter 1, verse 3. As I besought thee to abide still at Ephesus, when I went to Macedonia, that thou mightest charge some that they teach no other doctrine. So we just teach the doctrine, man. We go into the scriptures, we bring out the scriptures, we give you the edification concerning what you have to do. If you don't agree with it, get the step in, man. You see? Get the step in, man. But what it is, females are opportunists. They will do what applies the best for them. Okay, even with me, this demonic ex of mine, baby mother. Okay, no, you can't have your son then. No, I don't want your son to sleep at your house. Now she got this guy, he want to dick her down, and all of a sudden I have to take my son in the middle of the evening, man. 11 o'clock, I have to come pick him up. What the fuck is that? Yeah, give the girl some alone time, alone, some private time. She said. I'm like, you filthy whore, man.
Yeah, man.
Just want to get dick down, man. Got some dude waiting to come to your place, but my son is still awake.
Mhm.
This is the graviest things that we got to deal with, man. Now all of a sudden, because it is a good opportunity for you to take advantage of the situation, you want me to come pick him up. Now it is okay, but before that, it wasn't okay.
I've been there.
See, fuck
Yeah,
these hoes, man.
yeah, man.
Fuck these hoes for real, man. Go on.
Back, back in 1 Corinthians 57 and verse 14. For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. As we are judged unclean, but now are they holy.
Yeah, man. So if you have a man that does not believe, you just keep doing what you're doing, man, because he will be sanctified, which means to make clean through you. If you just do right, you can sanctify your husband and your children. Okay, like it says in the book of Acts, if you can grab that, he will be delivered together with his house. Acts, I think Acts 5. Okay, read.
This is Acts chapter 11, and straight to the point. Verse 14. Who shall tell thee words whereby thou and all the house shall be saved?
Verse 10 to 2 and 11. Yeah, go up a little bit.
So this is Acts chapter 11 and verse 11. And behold, immediately there were 3 men already come unto the house where I was, sent from Caesarea unto me. And the Spirit bade me go with them, nothing doubting. Moreover, these 6 brethren accompanied me, and we entered into the man's house. And he showed us how he had seen an angel in his house, which stood and said unto him, send men to Joppa and call for Simon, whose surname is Peter, who shall tell thee words whereby thou and all their house shall be saved.
Yeah, man. So you will be saved in your house. Okay? You will be saved in your house. If you just keep following your Hashem, shine, truth and sincerity and righteousness, doing what you can do, and take it easy with things that are too hard. That is the balance. That's the balance and the grace that is given unto us by which we have to walk. Now, in Galatians, it also speaks about don't look at grace as as a way that you can say, yeah, but it's too hard for me. Because the most I see is you, man. Don't think that because you have freedom, just because you have this grace.
Like a little liberty.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I know you're social. Yeah.
Liberty. Use not. Yeah. Give me Galatians 4:5. Galatians 5. And start at 10. The 4th is 13.
This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 10. I have confidence in you through the Lord that you will be none otherwise minded. But he that troubleth you shall bear his judgment, whosoever he be.
Yeah, man. So you cannot trouble people into keeping the law. Okay, don't trouble them. If it is too hard for him, let him take it easy. Don't trouble him. Because like it says in the book of Acts, you can grab that. Our fathers were not able to keep these laws. Okay, read on.
Verse 11. And I, brethren, if I have preached circumcision, why do I have suffered persecution? Then is the offense of the cross ceased. How would they were even cut off which trouble you? For brethren,
So this is a prayer that Paul did, man. He said, I wish that they would I pray that they would cut off, man. Cut off from what? From the salvation, from this truth. Like, hey, let them be destroyed, man. That trouble you, that are trying to get you into different ways, man. Okay, because I made a video about take it easy, take steps with the law, grow in the spirit. And then you had people on my comment board that said, man, hey, thank you, man, because you have certain camps, they enforce the law upon you, man. You cannot do that, man. Let them take it easy, step by step by step. But my point is, read on.
verse 12, I would never be cut off which trouble you. For brethren, ye have been called into liberty.
Ye have been called unto liberty, which is freedom, but
only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another.
Yeah, but by love serve one another. So what do these females often do? This liberty, They choose this liberty to say, yeah, but it's difficult for me to, like, be really under subjection. You using this as liberty for the flesh, man. What does it say? Not liberty for the flesh. Occasion. Yeah, occasion of the flesh, man. That's what they're doing, man. Still working on it. No, you're just being a demon, man. Being a demon. Okay, and we are not saying that you cannot make mistakes, because we make mistakes ourselves. But repent, man. Do it no more. And if you do it again, repent again for it, man. Okay? A just man falleth 7 times to get it back up again. The same thing goes for these females, man. Go back to your husband, tell him you're sorry for what you did, and make it right, man. Reconcile with your husband. Scriptures speak about it. The time of reconciliation is a time wherein the man and the husband take some space. But what do these females do nowadays when you take some space? They go fuck another man. They go, okay, you want space? You're sure you want space? Yeah. And I learned this when I was fucking 15 years old, man. I had a girl, big booty, girl from Mozambique, fat ass. I was with her, but then we often were in an argument. And then I said, yeah, let's just take it easy for a while, just take it easy. Maybe see each other not for a couple of weeks. Come to find out, she went dating already instantly. Like the next week, she went on a date with boys, man. It's like, this fast? I was like, you know what? I'm done with you, man. Yeah, man. That's how fast it goes. Okay, I was a young cat. Man. Okay, of course, I had things on the side too, but that doesn't matter, man. These females are quick to turn into another way, man. Back in the ancient days, they would find out that a woman would do this. Yo, they would have stones in your hand and they would say, go get her husband. Then you would go, you put on your garment. What's up? Yeah, look at your wife here. She already on her knees, waiting to get stoned to death. Like, hey, we have a stone. What I thought. You hear the
yeah, man.
Done. Because this would not be accepted, man.
No, man.
Okay? And if they let her live, it would be a blot upon her and her children, man, that she makes with another man. Okay? Scriptures speak about that in the book of Sirach. Sirach 16, I think. Yeah, this is it. No, this is not it. This one. No, it's not 16. It is Sirach 23 and 22. Hey, this tree is blocking the sun.
Yeah, man, it's cold, huh?
But it's only us.
It's only us. Everybody's in the sun.
We in the shadow. So, this is verse 21. 22. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in an heir by another. This is how it's going to go. This is how it went down in the ancient world. With a wife that would leave her husband and make a child with another man. Go. Verse 23. For first, he had disobeyed the law of the Most High. Okay, first she went against the laws of the Most High. So she disobeyed the Most High. She transgressed against the Most High.
And secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband.
Yeah, man. By committing adultery. Read on.
And it goes on. And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery and brought children by another man.
She had played the whore in adultery, so she trespassed against her husband, which is a law, which is adultery, which is also trespassing against the Most High. And you become a filthy ass whore because a woman is supposed to have one dick in her life, man.
That's right.
Now here it is, you leave your husband to get another man's dick and semen in you. A woman is not gonna function properly if she has all this DNA up in her, man.
Yeah, man.
She's gonna be a bug out bitch, man.
Yeah, man.
Going all up in the universe and shit and these zodiacs, because she don't know what to think no more, man. She has multiple personalities.
Yep.
She get confused, so she lets her life get led by fucking things that are written down on paper by Esau using fucking spirits, man. That's what they are being led by nowadays, man. I'm really telling you, man. This is what these females are occupied in nowadays, man. it happens so much that I had to make a video about it, talking about don't worship the creature, but the creator, because they worship the universe, which the universe is a creation. Okay, that's how much it is happening nowadays. But these females, they don't know what to fucking do no more, man. Capricorn be like, they be posting pictures like Capricorn be like this, or Cancer be like, oh, fall in love. All these dumbass pictures, man. These females are really pathetic, man.
uh, with the emphasis on what we just read.
Me mugging a female at the same time.
Yeah, I see you. I was like, who is me,
While
Morgan?
she's pretty, and you're like, yeah, there's pretty probably. Yeah, so put the emphasis on what we just read, because usually you would say like, when somebody steals bread, a loaf of bread, let's go easy on him. He was hungry. You got to repay it back, according to the law. But this, just by a woman taking some other sperm, she just broke 3 laws. So you have to imagine the severity of demons and of judgment that is
Yeah,
coming
that the
upon
most
him.
I would act would
One act,
allow
3 things.
Yeah, man.
the most that allows these demons to feast on you after doing these things, man.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. Because with the men,
And they take it lightly nowadays. Because what do mothers teach their children, their daughters?
independent.
Yeah, don't think. No, you still young. You can just, look around a little
Yeah,
bit,
play the field.
play the field, experiment a little bit, and then you settle down. Nah, this bitch got multiple personalities now.
Yeah, man.
The man that is gonna go with her in the end, he's gonna be vexed to the bone, man. Yeah, man. Gonna be vexed to the bone, man. Go on. Never read this? No.
I see him smiling like I like this.
And then like, but now you get it. You get
Yeah,
the severity, and the women that are watching it, just by taking somebody's sperm and getting children by him, it's
My ex demon told me that when she had her new boyfriend, she said, "Yeah, and he wants to marry me, and he wants to make children, wants to settle, we'll live together." She tried to make me jealous. Then I just sent her this scripture. This is what's going to happen to you. And I translated also for her in the Dutch. Then she said, "I ain't even going to read it." I said, "You better not read it, no, because you're going to get condemned in your own soul." But I sent it to you. So I warned you.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, she asked me if I could put the fence in her yard. I said, "You want me to put your fence in the yard?" "Yeah, for your son, because he wants to play football, and then the ball can go on the road, and you don't want that, right?" I said, "So why your boyfriend don't make your fence there?" "Why you ask me these questions?" I said, "It's normal, right?
Yeah.
Let your husband do it. Why you want me to do it? Let your husband do it." Yeah, leave it. I said, "What? He can't do it?" "No, he can't." This motherfucker already done left, man. Okay, later on I found out he already left this woman, man. This female. He already left. That's why she had to ask me. But she was too proud to tell me that he left. The one that she was gonna make children with, live together and all this bullshit. I already know, man. Fuck out of here. This is your end. If you would have made children with him, this would be your end. Which, hey, it is up to the Most High, man, what is gonna be your end, because you know.
This is Sirach 23, verse 24. She shall be brought out into the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children.
Read that again. She
Sirach,
will be brought. What?
she shall be brought out into the congregation.
Yeah. Look at this woman. Look at her. Look at her. She will be brought up. This is the woman. She left her husband. She went with this other man. Go on. And unrighteously. Because a woman, I asked him, he said, yeah.
So she shall be brought out in the congregation, and inquisition shall be made of her children.
Yeah, inquisition shall be made of her children. The children are going to be marked like these are the children that she made with another man. Okay? Everyone, look at them. Look at them. Remember them? Remember them. Why? do the other children of Israel have to remember her children? Read on.
Her children shall not take root.
Yeah, they're not going to be established. Okay? Because what would happen if the man, what would happen if uh, her father, the father of the son, would, no, how can I put it? What if this boy would go to the father of an Israelite daughter and say, can I marry your daughter? And he would say, okay, who is your mother? Who's your father? What tribe you from? Then he would say, from that woman, the adulteress? No. We ain't dealing with you. Let them not take root because this is evil, what has been done. They are not supposed to be established. They are not supposed to have business and run good that people have to come to them because they were created in wickedness. Read on. In adultery.
This is Sirach 23, verse 25. Her children shall not take root, and her branches shall bring forth no fruit.
Yeah, man. She's not gonna be prosperous. Her children not gonna be prosperous. She's gonna be low, man. And brought low by the people too, because they are not gonna work with her.
She shall leave her memory to be cursed.
Yeah, man. She shall leave her memory to be cursed.
And her reproach shall not be blotted out.
That's right. Her reproach, people is gonna talk smack about her and her sons and her family, which he has set up. And this man, he's just gonna live good, man, because he's gonna be with a new wife, fresh woman, young blood. Take her, fuck,
Yeah, man.
establish children with her. That's why, rappers they speak about actually, yeah, Big Crit. Big Crit spoke about
Big
he
Crit.
said he wanna plant his seed in the fertile ground, man, in the right ground, in the right soil. Because a lot of these females are not the right soil, man. Their soil is polluted, and the scriptures speak about that. Give me that in Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah 5. Read on.
Verse 27. And they that remain shall know that there is nothing better than the fear of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And
Yeah, because she is being made an example. She has been made an example on how not to be.
and that there is nothing sweeter than to take heed unto the commandments of the Most High. It is great glory to follow Yahweh, and to be received of him is long life.
Yeah, man. You see the Lord Yahweh is long life. So you don't want to go against his ways. You don't want to go against his commandments. Because look at this woman. This is what's going to happen. This is what happens to us. This is what happens to the generations that she creates. It's going to be fucked up. She's not hurt. Her ways are not going to be blooded out. A blot is a stain. If you blood it out, means you take away the stain. But the stain is going to remain because everyone in the village, in the city is going to see her and abhor her. Be like, oh, filthy demon. You just left your husband because you found something else. Went against the ways of her father also. Okay? Because she put shame upon her family.
I have a precept for that.
Yeah.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26.
Yeah.
Chapter 26, verse, I start with 10. If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
Yeah, man. So a shameless daughter, you have to observe it, man. Oh, she liked to dress up like this. And I was talking with them also yesterday about if you don't keep these daughters straight because of the hormones and because they, at the age of 13, 12, 13, even younger nowadays, because of the they get over sexualized on a young age, and the foods are full of hormones and stuff like that. They get on a very, very early. Their body just asks for dick. So in that way, they're gonna show off, their ass, their breasts and stuff like that, which is not good, man. We was walking, we saw mad curves, man, curves, boom, titties out. But then you look at their face, and you be like, whoa, you hella young, man. And you saw she was also a little bit uncomfortable walking around like that. But really, when they are at home in the mirror, they want to be sexual, show the world they are sexually active because they want that attention. You see? And then you're gonna have a daughter like that, man. So if you observe and you see your daughter is going in that direction, keep her in straight, man. Don't give her the liberty because she's gonna get dicked down by a dude, get pregnant being 15, 16 years old, and then your daughter be on Teen Mom on MTV.
On Teen Mom.
Only Edomites on that program.
You have Jakes too, man. Now
Yeah?
nowadays, yeah, man. Jakes totally tattooed up and wearing the Louis Vuitton and being in Teen Moms. And last time I was looking, my woman was looking something on MTV. Then I saw that pass by and I see Jake, man. I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, you're from Teen Moms, yeah,
Yeah, because
exactly.
a lot of these girls from back in the days from Teen Mom, they actually got famous, man. You know? Because they get followed. Like, how is it with them 5 years later? And then you see they have a show and stuff like that. They have
Their own show, yeah.
show and shit. Because their lives are being followed, man.
Read on this one. Verse 11. Watch over an impudent eye, and marvel not if she trespass against thee.
Yeah, man. So even if you have a woman, an impudent eye, man, don't marvel. If you know she's already like this, don't be amazed like she actually committed adultery on me. Don't be marveling, man. So I'm always telling brothers, man, if someone asks you whether you think your woman is gonna commit adultery against you, you say yes or maybe. You never say no, man. If you put no in your mind, the moment she does it, you will be totally destroyed.
Yeah.
In your mind, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Always accept that the possibility is there, man. Because she is a woman. No, she's not a woman, she's a female. Okay? She has this in her power. The scriptures speak about nothing overrides the wickedness of a woman.
Okay.
It's the worst wickedness on the planet Earth, man. She will really look how she can hurt you. Read.
Verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler. When he had found a fountain and drink of every water near her.
Yeah, man. She suckers on the rocks, man. Go out there. Look for some things. That's why they sexualize. They are sexually, in their way of dressing, man. Okay, here in Holland, there were certain laws set up concerning the female, how she's supposed to dress, man. These dresses was not allowed to be so short and stuff like that. Guess what? Through overmuch liberty, the government changing, laws changing, now it is supposed to be normal. I saw yesterday I was on my way to the city on this scooter, and I saw Moroccan chicks with leggings, man. The legging all up in the ass. I'm like, huh? And I kept driving, and I was thinking, like, this is a strange thing, man, because these Moroccans actually used to keep their daughters in straight, but now this is being accepted. The world is at its end, man.
Yeah, man.
The world is really at its end. That was
By every hedge will she sit down and open a quiver against every arrow.
Yeah, what is a quiver? A quiver is a quiver is like a pouch where you keep your arrows in. As a how you call this thing? Archer.
Archer.
As an archer, you keep your arrows in. She opened up her quiver for every arrow. What analogy can you put in your mind? Like what's that talking about? Come on now.
Yeah, man.
The dick is the arrow and the quiver is the thing.
Quiver would also be made from skin, right? So it would be kind of.
You make it.
You make it to a visualize.
Visualize. You're making it graphic. Don't make it so graphic. But you have this snake. The snake, when he opens his mouth, it looks like a.
Yeah, man. I know exactly what you're saying.
So that these women nowadays, man, they are dangerous.
Yeah, man.
If I think about the things that I've been through, man.
Yeah, man.
I was meditating upon it this week, actually. Like, I remember the day that I went to her. And then, look at me now. Shit, what did I do? Hey, everything is in the hand of the Most High.
That's right.
At the end, when we come into the kingdom, we will know why certain things were being done. Okay? Here it is, you might get a lot of children. I know brothers from the States, man, they got 5, 6 children too, man. Okay? Everything happens for a reason, man.
That's right.
Okay? If it is for you to come into the kingdom with multiple children already, then that's what it is, man. I'm thinking like the Most High does things for a reason, man, to seal up, you know, to seal up, because like we read earlier, you and your house will be saved. So they are joined unto you. So there are also numbers of the people that need to get salvation. Because since these people don't want to get right, okay, let's multiply children unto you and they will be saved. Boom. Okay, elect sealed. Done. You know? But yeah, it is what it is, man. We will find out in the kingdom. So give me that.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him, and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Hey. Why you let your daughter walk in the legging like this?
Yeah, man, that is not. Yeah, man. But yeah,
Shall
look
not
at the
that
mom.
land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, never turn again to me, said the Lord Jehovah.
Yeah, man. So a female has played the harlot with many lovers. Oh no, Jake has played the harlot with many lovers, man. Meaning with a lot of other beliefs, man. Entity worshiping idols and entities. Read it again.
This is Jeremiah 3 and 1. They say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again?
Yes. You see, so because the land, that woman, is greatly polluted, man. She had multiple dicks up in her, okay? Bust nuts up in her. Because they like this, sir. You have to understand, females like to get nuts busted up in them, man. Yeah, you don't have to use condom. Why not? Yeah, I feel better. Bitch. Yes, that's so. Well, what about the guys that came before me? There you had that same thing with them then. All hit it wrong. Fucked up. And that makes them filthy, man. That makes them nasty. Okay? Eventually you smell it too. It's true. You smell it, man.
Yeah, man.
If you smell something when you pull that pants off,
it's fish market.
Put it back on. Button it up. Look for the belt, which dogs have belts too, right?
Yeah.
Look for the leash belt. Put it tight.
Put it tight.
Close it up, man.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna tell you this honestly, man. I'm gonna tell you this kind of graphic, but I'm telling you, man. I did this, man. Pull down the pants, you know, and the smell came up, and I just put it on. I'm telling you, I'm honest, man. I can't say I swear, I'm not that but I'm really honest. I just put on the pants again. I'm not gonna go into that. There's too much detail. But I put the pants back on.
Yeah, man. If you smell the fish market,
that's not good. Because a lot of bodies are in there.
Yeah.
A lot of bodies, man. You know, it's crazy, man. You know what? This world, man. A lot of seed died in there. A lot of seed died in there. It's a graveyard.
It's a graveyard.
Fucking don't do that. Don't do that. But give me Isaiah 2. That was finished, right? That land is greatly polluted, which that is that woman. But the Most High said, return unto me. So even though we lay down with multiple religions and all kinds of beliefs, the Most High still told us to return unto Him. So we got to be very grateful, and you know, got to be pleased by Yahweh Hashem Yahshai for having this mercy on us, man.
I have it.
Maybe.
I think you mean Isaiah 3, verse 16. Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making tinkling with their feet. Therefore, the Lord will smite with the scab of the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion,
and the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion will be smitten. That's why they can't really grow hair. Like Jake hair grow, men hair grow even faster than the hair of these females, man. Jake be shaving his head. 5 months later, he got braids again. You know. But these females, man, they take years until they have some hair on their head. They go on. So that's a curse.
Yes, a curse.
Which that curse is kind of lifting up also nowadays. But go on.
And the Lord will discover their secret parts.
Yeah, man. Because through the spirit they do that themselves. They show their nakedness, walking around with leggings. You see the string of the tampon through the legging. They're fucking on their period, man. And as a man of the Lord, you start to sense it, man. You start to sense this. I was at the office, and I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, man. I went to the desk of this girl at the office, and I grabbed the chair, and I sat down, and something told me like, stay away from her. And then she explained me certain things, and I also didn't touch the desk. And I was like, when she was explaining me things about the project, I was like, okay. Hey, can I ask you something? You on your period? She said, why you ask me that? I said, no, I just have this feeling. She said, yes. It's like, yeah, I thought so. Later, then I got up and I left. I said, I get what you mean. Done. And then I left again, man. But it was already spirit. I felt it, man. She's like, how do you know? It's like, doesn't matter. I'm gone.
I would tell you. Let them tell the first you leave them when the woman that was 12 years, I believe, having a period. She even touched the garment, the border of the garment, and felt,
power left him. Power left him. Power, yeah, but power went out of him to heal her. Virtue is power. So power left Yahweh's body to do something, which was to heal her. So he was like, huh? Power is drained out of me. What? This woman over here, she had the period for 12 years.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so now she healed. He was like, wow. So impressive, man.
Yeah, man. Only touching the garment.
Yeah, man. But she touched him, that didn't make him unclean. If you sit on a place where she has said,
You became unclean when you sat at her chair.
I didn't sit at her chair. I grabbed my own chair. But I was at her desk, and I was already like, something is off over here.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so through the spirit, we kind of feel it, we sense it, man.
Yeah, but with public transportation, it's happened all the time, man.
That's why I read the
People sitting on
That's
these.
why I read the stand, and on top of that, that's why I don't fuck around with that transportation.
No, me
Also,
neither.
when I was on the scooter yesterday, it felt nasty, man. Felt nasty.
when the hell do they clean those things?
Yeah.
It's been there for a couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe.
Every bitch ass sits on that.
Yeah, man.
Literally, bitch ass
Bitch ass.
sits on that. So yeah, finish it up, man. Who was reading? Yeah, you was reading Isaiah.
Isaiah 3. Here, come.
I was already thinking.
The verse 18. In the day the Lord will take away bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Yeah, because the tinkling ornaments was the jewelry. Nice bracelets. They had the nose bells which go to the earrings. You know, you had the things like that. Beautiful, beautiful jewels.
Also, the anklets and Suriname, it's coming back. Also, you see, Elam has it a lot, but yeah, the Jakes over there have it also. You know, the bracelet that they put around the ankle, so when they walk, then you hear them coming.
When I was in Morocco, I went there with my wife, my ex-demon now, because none of these females can stay, and we went to the city, which is called the City of Silver. They have a lot of silver there, and they make everything out of silver. I even bought some earrings over there with the onyx stone in it, silver earrings. But I'm not about silver, you know, I'm about gold. So we went into the shop, and I saw a ring with the green gemstone in it, and this ring, it had it turned into a bracelet. So it had like It had the ring, then it had two chains coming from it, and the two chains were attached to this bracelet. So it's like, damn, this is beautiful, man. You have a ring and a bracelet, connected to each other. So I said, do you want this? I don't want it. I don't like it. Okay, then when we went back to Holland, she said, man, I regret I didn't get that bracelet from you. I was like, yeah, you bad taste. And I even said, look, here you have silver earrings with the same gemstones in it. No, I don't want that. She thought we was probably gonna go through the whole city even longer to look for shit that she would like. She was like, hey, I regret I didn't get that ring. Like, yeah, it's up to you. But things like that, Jake was wearing that, man. Very dope style of jewelry. Okay, so eventually, you know, even in the time when the disciples was there, the disciples said, hey, y'all need to stop with this putting gold and stuff upon you because you're not righteous, man. It's better to show off righteousness by keeping the law and being shameful. Okay. Also, all these fancy names that they put upon themselves, the princess of Yahweh. Come on, man. Why don't you show righteousness by just keeping the commandments and not being all out there on the comment board, man? Just watch videos and just be silent, man. Okay. I have it here. Second Peter's or First Peter's. You have this?
Learn in silence.
Yeah, also that, but let me read this first. First Peter 3:1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection unto your husbands. Go to the Blue Letter Bible and look up that word. Blue Letter Bible, First Peter 3:1. Look up the word subjection. So let me read it again. First Peter 3:1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. Okay, read. Subjection. What does it mean?
The word subjection is hypotasso, the Greek, and the other biblical usage is as following: to arrange under, to subordinate, to subject, put in subjection, to subject oneself, obey.
Obey. So you gotta obey your husband. Read on.
To submit to one's control.
Yeah. Okay.
To yield to one's admonition or advice.
So you see that? To yield to one's admonition, how to become better, because that's what the husband has to teach his wife. The father teaches his daughter, and then when the daughter is married unto the husband, he continues teaching her how to be a good woman, how to serve him good. Okay? Now, we are not saying that there are not wicked men that don't teach their wives the wrong way. Of course, you have men like that, but she still has to be under subjection, man. Okay? Now, don't let him tell you to do something wicked. I demand you to eat this pork. If you in this troop, you'd be like, nah, I can't do that. No, I will cook my own food then. I will cook the pork for you, but I will cook my own food too. Still cook him this pork if he wants it. Don't battle him. Don't leave him because he wants to eat pork. Let this bitch ass eat pork. But you make something for yourself. Okay. So it says to take one's advice. So when your husband gives you advice, like we spoke about earlier, you listen, man. Wait. Go to. You listen to it, man. Okay. And also something else I wanted to say. It goes into respect, man. Have respect for your husband. Okay, that's why it says in Sirach chapter 26, it says you have to reverence your husband. Grab it real quick. Saw that? When I noticed you went too far.
So Sirach 26, verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall she be counted ungodly of all. That's not it. Yeah, the monk. Verse 24. A dishonest woman contempt shame,
Yeah, dishonest woman contempt shame. She creates shameful thing towards the husband and also the father. Okay, scriptures also speak about, you put your father to shame. Okay, in the law, you know.
But an honest woman will reverence her husband.
An honest woman will reverence her husband, which the word reverence means to respect. That's what the honest woman would do. She would respect her husband in his judgments and what he decides as a punishment for her. Because you got to punish these females and every now and then, man. Like, oh, you know what? Since you do this, fuck it. We ain't leaving next week. Fuck it. I ain't going to your parents' house this weekend. Man. Fuck out of here. You know what? You wanted to go hang out with your girls over there, right? No. If you go, stay the fuck away. How can you do this to me? Stay the fuck away. And when do you have the power to tell her to stay the fuck away? When you own the house.
That's right.
When you the head of the house. She live with you. You don't live with a woman. Let her come live with you. The house is on your name. You want to go? Stay the fuck away then. Kanker op.
Yeah.
And when I'm very angry, that's when I say that. And most of the time say that towards females. She can conquer up. She can cancel the fuck out of you. It's a Dutch saying, like, you cannot translate that today. Cancel her way.
Sirach 22, verse 5. She that is bold dishonoreth both her father and her husband.
That's it, man. That's it. She that is bold because she not only dishonoring her husband but also her father. And when I broke up with my ex-demon, I was like, I want her father to come. I'm gonna explain very nice what done happened that this came to pass. I was like, let her father come to my house because her father is all like, culture from Suriname, like the Marons and stuff like that. He all about that. He also asked me like, why didn't you ask my daughter's hand? I look at him with his bald head. I'm looking at him like, get out of here. You're not serious. So I was like waiting for her father to come to my door. Well, he never came. But if he would have come, I would explain him very clear what done happened and what his daughter done did from the beginning. Because in the beginning, I didn't tell him why I didn't ask for his daughter's hand because his daughter did things her way, which made me end up going there, doing what I had to do. So if his daughter was right, things would have went the right way. But guess what? She ain't right in the beginning. So that's why things turn out to happen like that. So eventually, if he would get the information from me, what would happen to him? He would feel ashamed, man. The father would feel ashamed. And the man would feel ashamed for her being like this, man. She don't want to deal with a woman like that, being in that type of mind state. Fuck out of here, man. It's vexing, man. Read on.
The point. But both shall despise her.
Yeah, man. To the point, but nowadays, you can't tell a man nothing about his daughter, even if she's a stank asshole. He still loves his daughter, which that's not right neither. Scriptures speak about Sirach. Give me Sirach chapter 16, verse 1. Sirach 16 and 1.
Sirach 16, verse 1. Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons.
Yeah, you shouldn't even delight in children that are going off. Man. You shouldn't even be happy about that. Read on.
Verse 2. Though they multiply, rejoice not in them, except the fear of Yahweh be with them.
See, you shouldn't rejoice in children like that. You shouldn't be like, oh yeah, but she's still my daughter. She's a skank asshole, man.
Yeah, man.
Disown that bitch, man. You just disown it. She is not right. Okay? She's not right, man. Okay?
As a man of the Lord, you should understand that there's something like reincarnation, so it doesn't really have to be a duplicate from you, it's a other spirit that
she is who she is. Yeah. And your son is also who he was in the reincarnation. Okay, his sins come upon him.
Yes.
Now you have a job as a parent to keep your sons and daughters in straight, man. Okay, but if you fail to keep, if that duty fails, even though you try to the best of your ability, then you just own them. You distance yourself from them, because that is according to the scriptures, man, according to the law. Okay, and actually, the child has to be put to death, man. It has to be stoned, because the scripture says a rebellious son has to be stoned by the whole city, man.
Yeah, man.
Take away this son. You don't want to listen. Fuck out of here, man. We want a pure breed that listens to their parents. That's why in the old villages in South America, if you don't listen, the whole village gonna know. Listen, man, if you in the streets, if you walk in Main Street, and your neighbor from your neighborhood, Dakota, sees you rob a place, you're gonna be beaten in the street by one of your neighbors, man, or one of the people that lives in your area, because they see you do this. They'll beat the shit out of you, man. Drag your ass to your father's house. Now, father comes outside. Now you get another beating. And tomorrow, if your father's still angry at you, you get beaten again.
Yeah, man.
And then your neighbor comes over, asks how your son doing. Maybe your neighbor beats you. When you with your father, then it's done.
Yeah.
But that's how it has to go, man. That's how it went back in the days on the Caribbean islands, South America, man. If your neighbors would know you, man. When I was in the world, I wanted to go and live on Aruba, and then I spoke to my grandmother. I would go and live at my grandmother's house until I'm established, because I was gonna be a Coast Guard, and I would be established, and then I would leave my grandmother's house. But my grandmother said, if you come over here to smoke and stuff like that with the weed and stuff like that, you can get your ass back to Holland. So I left it, because I was smoking weed every day. I was like, nah,
Smoke weed
I don't want to
every
be there
day.
at my grandmother's house. My grandfather gonna beat me up 100%. My grandfather's strong as hell, man. I always said he has this grip. If you run away and he has you, don't
Try to wriggle yourself out of
he's
it.
gonna grab you harder. The more you fight it, the harder his grip is gonna be. And eventually you're gonna see his hand is right there in your arm, man. It's gonna be blue. You see his hand in your arm. Don't struggle, man. Leave him. Just be like, wow, run away. Okay, got me. Just be docile, like, okay, don't move.
Play
Okay,
possum.
let me go.
Play
Okay,
possum.
yeah, okay, let me go. Okay, let me go. And then you feel his strength loosens up, because he's like, but then he beat you up though. Then he beat you up. You know, like when the lambs, they get scared, right? They start running and they freeze.
Yeah, they freeze.
Be like that. Oh, shit, yeah, I mean, you got me.
You
Just
got me.
stop it. Okay, so yeah. But I got an analogy about only for the strong breed that's gonna be around Israel. Remember that you said that? And
Yeah.
got me thinking about Invincible, because his father Omni-Man, he on their planet, they slaughtered all the weak ones. You know, and you can kind of use it like this: that the weak ones represent the wicked Israelites. You know, the ones that are the weak link towards us, because that's what you got to do with all of them. You know, the ones that got stoned also. Was it Akan? I believe. Yeah. So you got to do away with them. You know, and that's how you are gonna keep wickedness out of Israel. Yep. That's the law. That's the commandment. That's how it has to go. So that's finished, or yeah. Okay. So reading on at First Peter chapter 3, verse 2. While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, whose adorning, let it not be that outward adoring of plaiting their hair, which plaiting literally means braiding, man. Means to braid the hair. So who you think is talking about, man? Plaiting the hair means to put cornrows, or like they say in Suriname, kwikwi ba. Okay, cornrows, braided, plaited. Yeah, braiding it, not with being all fancy and stuff, and of wearing of gold or of putting on of apparel, but let it be hidden. Let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek, quiet spirit, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price. You see that? For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in the Most High, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands. So even though back in the days our women were decked out to tip top, eventually this shit gets out of hand, man. Let your righteousness be shown by being meek and humble, not being all out there. Okay? That's why the scripture also speaks about do not fall in love with a with a woman that is a singer, man, because she likes to have attention. She sings on Instagram. She sings all over the place in the marketplace because she has a beautiful voice. You fall in love because of that voice, but she loves attention, man. She wants to be seen by everyone. Okay, now read on in Isaiah.
Go on. I start with 18 again, yeah?
Just go to the point where it says instead of sweet smell, 24.
In 24.
So that was my
Yeah. And it shall come to pass that in this instead of sweet smell there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent,
Yeah.
and instead of well set hair, baldness.
Yeah, that's right. So these females, man, it be stinking down there. It really be stinking down there, man. And it's a part of the curse, man. It's part of the curse. And on top of that, there has to be a certain reason why this smell comes up in there. Okay? And now the Most High sets it up in a certain way that that happens, man. Okay? So go to the Timothy.
This is 1 Timothy 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety.
Sobriety, yeah, man. You better show off shamefacedness, not to be seen, not on the common board, not in the streets to be looked at. Men breaking their necks because you show your ass crack. That's not what you're supposed to want. Read on.
Not with broided hair,
Not with broided hair. With what do you think broided hair means? Same thing, man. Cornrows.
or gold, or pearls, or costly array, but which become women's profession as like it. But which
That
becometh women professing godliness with good works.
works. Which what are good works for a woman? To obey her husband, to help her husband, to support her husband, be her husband's backbone. When her husband is down, what does your backbone do? Keep you straight. It's what your that's what your wife's supposed to be. Okay, your wife is not supposed to stand next to you because that's what they want, right? They want, yes, we stand next to each other. Bitch, stand behind me.
Be equal.
If I fall because of the hits that I get, you can push me back. Stand up straight. You know, a woman is supposed to sit with you, and when you feel fucked up, she's supposed to be, hey, come on, boom, you strong, man. You strong. You can handle it. Keep doing what you're doing. That's what a woman's supposed to do. Okay. When you have an argument with a brother and you talk about the brother, like, hey man, this guy, man, he make me fucking angry, man. She's supposed to tell you, stay in the spirit. Talk with him. Because the demon just hopped on you. And she has to be spiritual too and say, like, hey, no, talk with the man face to face. Don't get angry violently like that. Come on, man. You're brothers, right? Right. Good, good. Yeah, thanks for telling me that. You know? But the wicked woman, she said, "Oh yeah, that fucking nigga. I already
I didn't like him. Always, yeah.
I don't like him either."
Yeah.
And then when you make amends with the brother again, you're gonna look at her
Look at her like, hey.
so this is how you think about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
You see, she has to support you and be like, "Hey, be cool with that." And when you talk like about, I hate it when he does this. She's supposed to say, "Yeah, but that's between me, you, and him. I have no business with that." That is righteousness, man. Instead of talking shit about you and your brother, man. She has no business in talking about that, man. Fuck out of here, man. Shut the fuck up. Before I slap the shit out of you. And go to the police and I get locked up. Don't slap the shit out of me. Don't do it. Don't. I didn't say that. Don't do it. Don't slap the shit out of bitches. Don't do it. But yeah, that's how it is, man. Okay, read on. Finish it.
You were speaking about how that they should be behind you and not be right next to you. But this plain wage gap
Says the woman is the.
yes, she walks in front. She leads.
But he's a effeminate dude.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
actually have a jersey with weight on the back, man, which I don't even want to wear it. No more, man. I don't even want to wear it.
I understand, man.
I'm like, man, fuck it. But back in the days, he was playing basketball good, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Now he's all effeminate. He's a faggot himself.
Mhm.
It's like, you know?
First Timothy 2 verse 11. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to observe authority over the man, but to be in silence.
Yeah, why don't you apply these scriptures unto yourself? You see, instead of being on the comment board of all these brothers, man. Like upon on the comment board of Elder Manata Zagba, a woman said, "Yeah, I had this discussion with this guy the other day about it, whether it's okay to sell weed in this truth." And I was like, you know what? I don't agree with you, but let me ask one of these brothers.
Yeah.
Elder Manata Zagba was, what? First and foremost, why do you think you're supposed to go ahead and ask one of these brothers? She was on the profile picture with her husband. That is one. But you know how Elder Manata
Yeah.
got. He got angry.
Yeah, of course.
One, let me start off with this. Why do you feel that you are in a position to go on a brother's comment board and ask this?
Mhm.
Two, this is stupid. Why do you think if you cannot smoke weed, why do you think that it's okay to sell it? That's two. Now, and then I made a video touching on that it is a frustrating thing if you know, with Yahushua, I mentioned Mark chapter 8, where he said when they was thinking about the bread. Oh, is he talking about that we don't have no bread? Yahushua was like, yo, I already showed you I can make 12 baskets out of 5 loaves of bread. I already showed you that I can turn water into wine. What is your problem, man? He got frustrated. Now the same thing happened with the elder, because this is foolishness, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Come on, man. Y'all supposed to know better by now, man. It is 2021. Okay? This truth been out there since 2007. So since 2007, people outside of the Bronx, people outside of New York would have been able to get the truth, man. Okay?
That's right.
Through the internet. And still in 2021, you don't get it, man. Which is fucking 40 years later, man. You still come with stupid ass questions like, can I sell weed? No, of course not, man. You're destroying your own people, man.
That's right.
Even Biggie said that in the song. Like he don't want to sell crack to children because he don't want to destroy them. You see? People are lost, man. Finish it up.
that was it.
Okay. The last scripture.
Yes, but, First Timothy chapter 2:15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety.
Read it again.
First Timothy chapter 2:15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing.
Okay, so if a woman, if a female gets a child of you, being a man of the Lord, she can be saved. If
They continue in faith
she continues in the faith
and charity
and charity
and holiness
and holiness
with sobriety.
with sobriety, not being all wild and shit. But charity, it's goodwill. Goodwill towards who?
It's your husband.
Towards your husband, man. Not goodwill towards every damn guy that walks in the street or being all out there. Oh, come to me, I will help you. I'm Deborah. Fuck out of here, man. Charity towards your husband. That's what you're supposed to have. Good works towards your husband. Because he shall rule over thee. Which is already said in Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Which the brother has on deck, which I knew. 'Cause I saw it.
This is Genesis 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
See, your husband rules over you. So listen to him. Let him guide the house. Okay? Take his advice. Walk in righteousness towards him. Okay? Because you are there, you are under the law of your husband. Because we as men, we cannot go straight to Yahweh. We have to go through Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
So the same thing goes for you females. You cannot go straight to Yahweh Shai. You have to go through your husband. Show him respect and a submissive spirit and a subjective spirit towards your husband is being acceptable by Yahweh Shem Shai. Y'all don't have straight access to Yahweh Shai. You have to go through the man. And that is the way it's supposed to be, man. So with that, we want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh.
Hashem Yahweh Shai. Ba'ashem Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elder apostle, Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there that's spreading this word, this is the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Shalom.
Shalom.